Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bowling Lounge for the Tuesday Talkshow. You see, I've got my regular co-host Mick Purdy with me. Hi, Mick. How are you?
Hello, Jeff. Nice to see you, buddy.
And you, mate. Keeping well?
I am indeed. Tired as always. Long day
And
today.
one of our other regular guests that come and see us in the lounge is Budgie. Welcome, Budgie. Thanks for joining us.
That's all right, Jeff. Thank you for the invitation, mate. And good evening to you also, Mick. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Budge. Nice to see you again, mate.
Lovely.
Okay, I don't know if Tony's going to join us in a while or not, if he can make it. So he may join us in a while. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining us. And let's get on with the show. So, well, pretty dreadful week for us Hammers. Really poor display, I thought, out in Germany. Very lackluster, lacking any ambition whatsoever. And probably got what we deserved in the end, and perhaps lucky not to end up 3-0 down, but for a goal line clearance.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've been playing our luck a lot lately. We've been relying too much on certain players, which has kind of been a familiar story for a few years now. But as soon as we get a decent player, we seem to go to pieces when they're not there. I think we've got a lot of decent players in our team, not necessarily in the squad, but in the team, we've got a lot of decent players. And I think we're putting an awful lot of pressure on players like Paqueta, like Alvarez, Bowen. I think we put a lot of pressure on them, between ourselves, as it were. And, we've got to rely on other players in the team, like Sojek and Sufal and Ogbonna. I mean, where's he been? I mean, he was getting back into form and then got dropped again, and which I'm a little bit frustrated with the way things are going, to be fair. I'm doing my best not to swear.
It was a tough old watch. I don't suppose you were too impressed on Thursday night, were you, Mick?
Not a bit. I mean, I'm an advocate of attacking football. I can't bear watching a team of our standard. Forget Bayer Leverkusen for a minute. I can't bear watching a team of our standard decide before they go out that we can't win the game, because that's how we went out. And when you see Moyes' interview after the match, that for me, because I've never ever said on this show that he should go, but for me, after that match, that's the final nail in his coffin, when he said, we are playing a team that will be in the Champions League next year, and they're such a good team, and we've done well only to, lose 2-0. Hopefully we can grab a goal at the, early doors and see what happens. What nonsense. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm with them. I'm now on the side of the West Ham supporters that want to see the back of him, to be honest. It's not because we lost 2 games. It's the way we lose it, and the way he speaks about it afterwards is though it's just okay. We were playing a Champions League team tonight. I don't give a monkeys.
The thing is, Mick, we were playing a team that's going to be in the Champions League next year. We're also playing a team that were down the bottom of the Bundesliga when Alonso came in last year.
Mm-hmm.
So they turned that around from being relegation threatened to champions. And the justification is, they're in the Champions League now, so it's okay for us to roll over.
I'm not even saying they're not a better team than West Ham. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying it's the negative attitudes. You're in the quarterfinals of a major European trophy, yeah, and he just said, "Well, we played a Champions League side, so we're only little old West Ham. What can we do?" It was that kind of thing after the game, and I thought, it's no wonder. I have never come on here and run him down. Never. Yeah. been disappointed with things, but never said, "Oh, you should go." But I can see for those that pay their money every week, go there, watch that dribble at sometimes, and people, we've never had it so good under him apparently, which is
I agree.
Statistically it's true, but
very defeatist
Tony's
attitude,
here.
very defeatist setup,
yeah.
and it's just not good enough, really.
And then he brings in, you're talking about a bomber, right? Then he brings in on Saturday people like Ings and expects him to work miracles when he's barely kicked a ball for 6, 8, 10 weeks, whatever it is. Since what game did he come on for? 6 or 8, it's probably 6, 7 games ago now. I can't remember. He came on, he hit the bar.
Wasn't it the Villa game?
Could have had a hat trick, couldn't he? Hit the bar, had one disallowed, got the equaliser.
I think you find Tony's in the green room, mate.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring him in. I don't want to interrupt you, Mick. Well, let me bring him in.
Sorry, Mick. Your link didn't work, Jeff, so I sent it to him.
Bring him in.
Evening, Tony.
Evening, gents. Yeah, old
Thanks for joining us.
Sent me a dodgy link. I couldn't get in.
Ah.
Did I?
Yeah, you missed.
Sorry, Tony.
You missed the letter out, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
No worries. How are we
Let
all
me
doing
just
anyway?
say hello to the chat as well. I'll write. You guys carry on, have a chat. We were just talking about Thursday. You heard us, didn't you, Tony?
Yeah.
If you got anything to add to that, feel free, and I'll just go to some of the comments.
No worries. No, the guys have covered basically what we actually saw, basically. From
Evening, Craig.
Hey, Craig, mate.
Oh, Craig. Yeah. We didn't really see an awful lot of West Ham.
I'm a Flossie. Thanks for joining.
Evening, Flossie. How we doing?
Yeah, it was just that is exactly what it was, Benson. Pathetic. Yeah.
But could you hear beforehand, Tony?
No, I didn't see. I missed the first 5 minutes or so.
I was just saying that I've never, that I've never run Moyes down on here like saying he must go. We've had criticism, but it's not about the 2 defeats. I was saying it was his interview after the game. He was quite happy after Bayer Leverkusen beat us 2-0. Well, they are a Champions League team, and we're doing our best. You know what I mean? And the negative attitudes. It's no wonder. It's no wonder there's such a thing with West Ham fans that want to see him go. That interview killed me.
Does it say though, Mick, that he wants that by saying things like that?
Well, I think he's gone anyway. Listen,
he did mishammer it.
If you was in a job, and it is a job, and someone said to you, "There's a new contract," you say, "Oh, I'll have a look at that," and then come back to them. He's saying he's waiting to the end of the season. I think he's probably got an agreement. It's best not to say anything to the end of the season because the team might club, But come that final whistle, I think you'll hear within 24 hours that he's gone anyway. But the changing Jeff's subject a little bit, all I keep reading is that Mourinho looks like a possible strong favourite. Don't know what you feel about that. I've read that about 4 times now.
Honestly, that's a red rag to a bull, isn't it, really, to be fair?
Well,
I've got to be honest. I've seen a lot of comments and I've spoken to a lot of West Ham fans. And it's pretty unanimous. Keep him the fuck away. Oh, sorry. Keep him away from our club. That's
express
fairly
yourself
unanimous.
however you like.
Thank you.
That's
on the basis.
Can I ask you on what basis?
Yeah. For me, I don't know about I can't speak for everybody that I've spoken to. But for me, it is the fact that he did it once at Chelsea. He came in and then he was dismissed for whatever reason. For whatever reason, he was dismissed. Then he came back and couldn't do it again. He really couldn't get that momentum going. He went to Man United. He was reasonably successful at Man United for a very short period. Then he went to Tottenham and he was reasonably successful for about a 6-week period. And then that was it. I'm sorry, if he came to West Ham, we'd be relegation fodder. I'm telling you now. That's just my opinion. That's why I don't want him anywhere near my club. You know, and
I think
my club because I actually feel that way about the club. You know,
I think he's a manager that would blame the tools before he blame himself.
of course,
And
that's
the
exactly right.
the tools that we've currently got and probably won't have all of them next season would be an excuse for any manager, just not him coming in. So we have to be careful with the new manager because Moyes has left us with the oldest squad in the Premiership. Oldest starting 11 is West Ham's. Yeah,
but
so
some of those decent players that we fear might want to move on will only move on, I believe, if Moyes stays. I believe if they get the whisper that Moyes is gone at the end of the season, they might just bite their lip and go, all right, I'll hold on to it until I know who the new manager is. As soon as if it's somebody that they're interested in, the likes of not necessarily Paquetá, because he's probably gone anyway. It's more or less foregone conclusion. But the likes of Kudus, Emerson, Alvarez, Agard, I think they'll stay under a different regime.
Yeah. Again, I think that last player you mentioned, I'm still a fan of his. I think
Agard, I think he's quality.
He's got more to
do. Yes. Some there's some faux pas in him, and there's sometimes there's questionable character when it comes to when it comes to him being, I don't know, blown up for a foul or something. There's something questionable about his character with the. I'm fairly sure he's a dissent card waiting to happen, and then once it happens once, it'll start happening more often because the referees will be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that small amount of worry that I have, I would say I'm 85% confident when he's on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. He looks like he struggles sometimes with the physicality, but then I looked at his performances in the World Cup before we bought him because I watched a lot of Morocco in the World Cup and him before he got injured, and he was strong. So yeah, I think he's got more to give. But
had a poor game Sunday.
Who thinks here out of the four of us? I don't. I believe Moyes is gone. That's what I believe. Does everyone else think he will be manager next season or not?
Well, I think, like you said, going by the interview and that just kind of the body language just says one thing, that he's out basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he's making comments like that, then it's not he's not justifying himself. If anything, he's kind of opening the door ready to bolt.
Yeah, that's what I think. He's cutting ties.
Yeah, I think he's done. And that's not because of the defeat. It's not like a knee-jerk reaction because I have never said here, have I? Even when we done that thing about who is it? Have we never had it better? We did all the percentages, didn't we? I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah. And it's true. It's true statistically. We've never had it better. But I am bored of watching that shite. I really am.
I think they're going to wait until the end of the season. They're not going to sack him. They're just going to let the contract run down. They won't come to an agreement over a new contract, and he'll be gone.
By mutual agreement.
Yeah.
That's what he would have done.
Well, it's less money to pay.
It's the Sullivan way. It's not the first time, right? That's what he does.
Yeah.
If they run his contract down, then basically he ain't got to pay anything. Sullivan hasn't got to pay anything. Or if he has, it's bare to minimum.
He'll get a decent thank you, and that'll be it.
Well, he shouldn't get fuck all, should he? He'll get paid up, and
yeah, that's what I mean. He'll get like thanks for everything you've done, David. You've been a pleasure to work with.
If you look at it from Sullivan's other point, what's the point of giving him £1 million to leave or whatever when we're not going down, we're not going to win anything?
No,
it gives you time to think about it, but. If you had a preference, Jeff, sorry, mate, am I going off tangent here?
No, not really. But I just wanted to say, actually, there's been a couple of comments in the chat about Sullivan and, basically what a problem he is. And I have to say, I tend to agree with that. And that might be why we could end up with a Mourinho or someone, because that's just his sort of style. He's out of work. He thinks it's a name. He'll sign him up. I'm not saying he'll get Mourinho, but he's not going to go and get someone who he has to pay for.
Well, he won't be cheap. Mourinho doesn't come cheap, Jeff. So
This is the
I
thing.
mean,
He wants
He
the
won't
big
pay
money,
compensation, though. If he has
he
to
wants,
pay,
he wants
£8
big money to buy the
million,
players, though, Jeff. That's the problem you've got there.
he will.
That's
But
the
there's
thing.
money for the next manager, I think.
that's what I say. He'll blame his tools. So, but who?
I'm not an advocate of Mourinho, by the way. I don't want him.
Who
I
would
think
you?
he's divisive.
Who would you go for if you forget if they're with the club? If you someone you think West Ham could reasonably get, who would your choices be?
Well, I've said before, I quite like Eddie Howe. I know you're not his biggest fan.
No, I'm not saying not his biggest fan. You're not going to get him anyway, Jeff. He's not going anywhere.
I think his style of football and the way he manages, I quite like it. I think he'd be a good fit at West Ham.
Well, he can beat Tottenham 4-0. That's good.
I'd take him. I reckon. I mean, there was lots of noise and all that about the likes of Carrick, one thing and another previously. That seems to have cooled off. He's not doing quite as well with Middlesbrough. So we'll probably end up with Mark Robbins, because now Coventry are in a semi-final and they're kind of doing all right. He'll be the next championship flavour of the month, right?
To be fair to Carrick, he's got, talking about blaming your tools, he's got no money, no players, but he's still doing a decent job.
Just changing the subject ever so slightly, Barcelona are 1-0 up against PSG.
Oh, are they?
Rafinha.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
What about yourself, Tony? Who would you pick if you had a reasonable choice? You can't go, Klopp or whatever. I mean, someone that's realistic.
For me, I've liked the style of Thomas Frank, Brentford manager.
It's great shout. Great shout.
Do like him.
Yeah. I think that's a great shout. Yeah. I like him too.
It just seems he kind of, he in certain respects, he puts his arm around the players and makes them feel, a little bit of love, which players want, and he'll get the best out of certain players.
And doesn't he talk well?
And that's the other thing as well. He talks the game, doesn't he?
But he just talks, even when they lose, Brentford, they've had a bad period, let's be fair. Yeah. But even when they lose, he's very, he just talks so well. He comes to the screen, he doesn't be high, he doesn't be low. He just says, look, this is what happened today. We go again next week.
Yeah.
I do like that about him, for sure.
Yeah.
Any ideas you might want?
Yeah, mate. I've never wavered from who I think we should try and get, and that's Danny Blind. He's currently the assistant Netherlands national team manager, coach. He's had some club experience and done okay. Not brilliantly, but he's done okay because he's been at okay clubs. Get him to a big London club like West Ham, I believe he would shine. He's progressive. He likes the youth. Has got a defensive outlook, but he's progressive with midfield and
he's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Dutch. Yeah. It's actually Daley Blind's dad, who used to play for Man United.
Right.
But it's his dad, and he had quite a decent career in his day.
He did. I remember him.
Like Bergkamp and Percy in the national squad. Really good character, good bloke. I mean, he like I said, he likes the youth. He played a 19 or a 20-year-old kid in a central midfield position because he impressed him in training. His attitude was right, and he wanted to give him a go. He played him in a really important game over a 30-40 million pound midfielder, and he put that 30-40 million pound midfielder on the bench, for this game. And this young lad had the game of his life, man of the match and everything else, So that's why I like him. He identifies talent regardless of, your age or your experience. If he sees your talent, he'll use it. Good evening, Keith. Nice to see you, sir. Yeah, you know, so
Ian Keith.
I like
Sharky.
him, but you know, if I was going to go for somebody that people in the chat and yourselves are more familiar with, I would probably go and get Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, another good shout.
Mm.
Yeah, another good shout.
He's not happy at Burnley. No, yeah, Burnley. He's not
Yeah,
happy.
again, his style of play though, you need the players to do that. I think
think
we'd have enough players to play the way he wants to play. We'd probably have to buy 2 or 3, but I do like his style.
I mean,
they do play a nice style of football.
If
But
he
he's
was
doing
our
it-
manager, we would be regretting having got rid of Skamaka for a start, because he would shine like a beacon under Company. Look what he's doing now. You know what I mean? He scored, what was it, 2 against Liverpool the other night.
Mhm.
I mean, that was incredible. That was incredible. But yeah, no, I think, you know, Vincent Kompany or
2 good
Danny
shouts there. No, I don't know much about Blind, but yeah, certainly Company and
I mean, to be fair, I haven't really seen a lot of Danny Blind. I've done a lot of research on him because I searched on Google for, you know, assistant national squad coaches, because I think that's an area where you can find
Evening, Wolfie.
really, really good, you know, coach material or head coach material. But at the moment, they're just an assistant and they want to move. You know what I mean? And I think Danny, I mean, I think he was Eindhoven. I think he managed in Holland, someone like that. It wasn't one of the massive teams.
Still,
it was a, you know, mid to low table. But you know, but still, he had some success. He kept him in the league, etc., etc. So yeah, he's done all right.
Yeah, Mick, what do you think about Sharky's shout here with Potter? With Potter,
coming in.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think that's a bad show. What Potter achieved at Brighton, not given much chance at Chelsea, really, for the way that he had to go into Chelsea. There was a lot of disrespect there. You could even see the disrespect in the Chelsea team last night when they were arguing over that penalty. Absolutely,
that was playground stuff.
Yeah, but that's the whole disrespect in that club. You know, them fellas trying to take that ball off of me. Trying to take that ball off of Palmer, and I was their manager. They wouldn't wear that shirt again. They'd be up for sailing.
Well, Pochettino's actually said to them, you know, that kind of display, you know, isn't going to get you the shirt next week.
No,
you know, he's been quite open about it.
Yeah.
I do like Pochettino. The only trouble is he was with, you know, the North Londoners, wasn't he? So, you know, you got to have some.
The thing is, when you've got Cole Palmer that's basically kind of held Chelsea aloft for this whole of this season, and you've got Jackson trying to argue over the ball to take a penalty.
Yeah.
He's had 9 out of 9 now, Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
He's going the way of Mark Noble. I said this to my brother today, actually. He's going the way of Mark Noble when it comes to penalties. He's never predictable about where he's going to put it. And he can put it anywhere. And he's good. He's very good. He can switch his penalty midway through his run up. You know what I mean? And that's what.
Just want to refer to this comment from Miss Hammer. There's been a bit of comments in the chat about the run-in for Europe and one thing and another, and the thoughts on our points from our upcoming Premier League fixtures. But we will be touching on that in the show. So just stick with us while we will get there for everyone in the chat.
At the moment.
That's only because Mick's railroaded Jeff's agenda. Sorry, mate.
No, it's okay. It's fine. We're fine. We're having a chat. It's an interesting conversation. Get everyone's thoughts, and there's been a few thoughts in the chat. There's been a couple of shouts for Marco Silva. And who was the other one that was mentioned? You just spoke about it.
Brentford manager.
Yeah, no. I'll have to go back through the comments now. There's only a few comments ago.
You got to lay off that.
You carry on. Potter was mentioned as well. Yeah, Graham Potter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Potter.
Yeah, I say, if he came in, would I be hugely disappointed? No, not at all.
I think I would.
No,
I think we should be more ambitious than Graham Potter. I really do. You know, I think Graham Potter is probably an interim manager at best now.
I think again. I think people get boxed out too quickly when they've had an episode, shall we say? I mean, it's a poison chalice, Chelsea.
Yeah, I suppose in a similar way to Man United was for David Moyes.
Yeah.
You know, and look what he's achieved as a manager since then.
Yeah,
he's been very successful, you would say. But yeah,
you don't. He's bearing in mind that the team he managed before Brighton would be regarded as a non-league team here, and he took them into European football. You know, so you know, I wouldn't be. I think he would be forward thinking. I think you'd see a lot of younger. Look at the likes of Lamptey he bought for Brighton and people like that. Yeah.
He did do very well at Brighton, and I'm not going to deny that.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you, if you were to analyse the stats against the top 6 teams, he didn't do so well.
It was the scoring of the goals, and they've still got the same problem. It's De Zerbi's problem. They haven't got a striker.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with Potter. You're right. He struggles to score goals. He doesn't have a great record against the top 6. And I have heard it said that Sullivan is unconvinced by him because he believes it's the formula and the way the club set up Brighton that bring them the success rather than Potter's ability. Now, I don't know how much credence there is in that.
Okay.
But I've kind of heard that said a few times. So
is that the same?
That means we'll probably end up with him, right?
Is that the same for Brentford? Because they use the same formula, but they've got Ivan Toney and Bamber, and they score goals. Although this year they've obviously struggled through varying injury problems. But if you were
the thing I'd say about Thomas Frank is, I think he uses his subs, and he's probably a better man manager than Moyes. But is his style of football really that different?
What than West Ham?
I'm not sure it's that different.
It is very different.
The way he sets up, maybe it's
we've had one result in 6 games against them.
Yeah, I can't agree with that one, Jeff, at all. Yeah,
he may play that certain way against certain teams.
Yeah,
but he's adaptable. I mean, I've seen him go balls out. When they played Wolves a few weeks back, he went balls out. I think they went 2-0 up before about a quarter of an hour or something, wasn't it?
Mm.
They absolutely steamed into Wolves, but I think Wolves came back and either drew or beat them. But the way he played against Wolves was fucking dynamic. I'm sure it was Wolves.
We better move on from the managers, I suppose. We're getting asked a lot of questions, Jeff.
Yeah, there's lots of questions in there. And Miss Amorex, she's done her predictions for each of the games. I see that she said that she thinks we'll get 8 points if we're lucky. I think we will be lucky if we get another 8 points on recent performances.
If we get another point at this rate.
And she's asking where we'll end up. Well, I said to you earlier, I did a little the Premier predictor. I don't want to spoil it where we ended up.
Yeah, no, I think we'll leave that for that one in a minute. Yeah.
It wasn't in the European places. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm saying that if we finish top 10, I think you marked on that a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? Didn't you? You said that 2-3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yep.
I think you'll be right, mate. I think we'll be lucky to end up 10th.
Yeah.
See, I do remember what you say, Tone. I will be disappointed.
Got it all written down on that tablet in front of him.
Exactly. The problem is, though, Mick, every time we've got the chance to kind of, like, look at on the weekend, Man United draw and that, we've got a chance to overtake them and Newcastle, and every time we have a chance to progress in, I don't know, it just goes for a madness formation, and we saw the result anyway, as it was.
Mhm.
Just doesn't
That's
make
West
sense.
Ham all over, isn't it? That is not West Ham under Moyes. That's just West Ham. We've
The
got
West
a
Ham way,
chance
Jeff.
this
Don't forget,
week
it's the West Ham
to
way.
go sixth, whatever. Guaranteed we're going to fuck it up then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, we were top of the league at one point this season. Top of the Premier League.
Yeah, when we played against Brighton.
Yeah.
We went top of the league that day.
wants Rob Edwards just purely for footballing reasons.
She keeps on asking for this fella.
Well, to be fair, yeah, I think I did say 2 or 3 weeks ago that if he was free, he would be a big choice for me.
Yeah.
A big choice for me because what he's done with Luton, obviously you guys know I live in Luton. Yeah, what he's done with Luton is, if they stay up, I think it's one of the biggest achievements in the Premier League football, to be honest. Yeah, they've got absolutely, well, Paqueta's wages would pay all would pay all the Luton Town squad on its own. So, you know, it is absolutely bonkers. Yeah, if they stay up, then I think it's one of the biggest achievements ever in that league. I mean, he's got 14 players out injured at the minute. He was playing a 16-year-old kid on the bench the other night.
Yeah, and he's got his squad's made up of League One journeymen kind of players, right? What he's down to now.
Yeah, what he's down to now. Yeah,
it's amazing what he's getting out of them, really.
And he's made the best signing of the season on a free, Ross Barkley. Yeah. Unbelievable he's been this season. So. Yeah, I know I've said that before, but I still stick with that. Yeah, fantastic. So what have we got?
We should move on to this. How do we think that the Premier League's going to end up at the very top in the European places and the relegation places? Where would anyone like to start? Want to start on the race for Europe, start on the title race, or the relegation places?
Well, we'll start on the title race. Title race. That's the one that everybody's interested in, to be fair.
So, 3 teams in the title race.
My opinion. Sorry, Jeff. My opinion is that if City win it, it'll be awful for English football. Having someone winning it 4 years on the trot. It will be like. But
if they do, they will have deserved it.
I'm not saying that's a different thing. Right? I'm saying that, you know, we don't want to become Germany where Bayern Munich keep winning it, or Scotland where Celtic or Rangers, or mainly Celtic in recent years, keep winning it.
Yeah.
So as much as it hurts, I'd like to see Liverpool win it and see Klopp go out on a bang, because I think he's been brilliant for the Premier League. It's still very possible. And at worst, then I'd rather see Arsenal win it than City, just for English football.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have someone winning championship after championship at the supposedly the best league in the world, which it is. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Man City top of the tree at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's their current form in their last few fixtures. And it's their running. So, out of this, where do we think everyone's going? Are they going to drop points at Brighton?
Possibly. I think that's a game they could. You know, the way Brighton play at times. If Brighton have an off day, then they'll burden them. But if Brighton are at it, then they could surprise them. But again, they have problems scoring goals.
Tony, what do you think at Forest? Do you think they'll pick points up or drop points there?
I think, you know, Forest, if they played like they did a couple of weeks back and they give City a game, it could be a draw there.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict matches at this time of season. They've got a big one at Tottenham, haven't they, as well?
The big one at Tottenham. They'll beat Fulham.
And then they've got probably the game of the season for them, the biggest game of the season on the last day of the season. So
the easiest game of the season, probably.
Do you know something? Historically, we haven't made it easy for them. You know, I mean, like the 2 seasons ago, they were our last home game of the season. Mark Noble's last ever home game. And we went 2-0 up in 23 minutes or whatever it was. 18 minutes, something like that. Ridiculous. We went 2-0 up. They were there for the taking. Obviously, we reverted back to Moyes ball, and that was a draw, 2-2. But historically, we don't make it easy for Man City. We do tend to work at them. They do generally get a result, but you know, that's an away game for us. That's home for them. And to be fair, form away has been fucking poor, really.
I can't really see City losing any game, but it's football. Who'd have thought Crystal Palace?
Yeah, I mean, there's 18 points there available to them. I think they're going to get minimum of 16 of them.
Yeah.
And here's Arsenal.
Awesome.
Wash your mouth out.
Awesome. They've got the hardest running, really, haven't they?
Wolves.
You know, Wolves
they
away.
have really.
They've got a really hard running.
United.
Yeah. That, you know, if they were West Ham fixtures, we'd be sort of saying, oh, you know, you know, Wolves at home.
I think the Everton game's easy for them.
If Everton have to stay up, mate, if they have to win that, it's a different game, isn't it? Yeah, don't forget where Everton are. You know, they could be down by then.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. I'll give you that. Yeah. And Bournemouth not going to be an easy game for them.
There's no one there easy.
Coming to London, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea are now chasing the spot that we thought we'd have 3-4 weeks ago. Chelsea will probably get that now. You know, Tottenham, Arsenal is unpredictable. Yeah, Bournemouth don't make it easy for anyone. Yeah, difficult running. I would say they'll probably come third, to be honest.
Thanks, Miss Hammerett.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And Shark is asking how many points we will get there, though.
It'd be nice if they got deducted 15 points at the end of the season, though.
Who's that?
Just so that they don't qualify for Europe at all. Yeah.
And of course, the other one, I ain't got the right glasses on, so I can't see. There we are. Liverpool in the title race. There's
Bifocals, Jeff. They really are good.
Yeah, you just look again. You look at them fixtures.
Everton easy. West Ham.
Everton's never easy, so that's another level. That game.
Yeah, it was the old derby for them, isn't it? That's a derby.
Yeah.
I do like Keith's confidence here.
Thanks.
Big up to Keith.
Brilliant. I think the Villa game is either a loss or a draw for Liverpool. The Tottenham game, that's going to be a hard-fought win for Liverpool. Our game, I don't really want to predict it, but I think it's
going to roll over and have our bellies tickled like we always do.
You know what I mean? The Everton-Liverpool game, I think that's winnable for Liverpool. It's going to be a real battle of wits. And the Fulham game, I think everyone's going to be surprised. I think Fulham are going to smash them 3-0. They've been coming up with fine result recently.
Yeah. I think it's City, Liverpool, Arsenal for me. But I don't think that's for English football.
Sad as that may seem, but that is probably it. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with you, Mick. With me, Mick, I agree with you. I think it's Klopp's last season. You thought the club, the players would go out and finish on a high, but their form of the last couple of, the last week or so has not been great.
No.
So,
Moyes not been in the change room there, has he?
Yeah, he's entered the team sheet. The Klopp, read this. That'll do you.
Hey, maybe he's up for the job when he goes at the end of the season. Maybe it's a big secret.
Yeah.
But
I seriously think that it's City's to lose now.
Move to European places.
Newcastle
currently sixth. I've missed out Villa and Tottenham because they're not going to challenge for the title and they're not in danger of not finishing the European places. They're pretty
not in danger of dropping to sixth, are they?
No, for sure. Neither of them. So I've concentrated on Newcastle, Man United, ourselves, Chelsea and Brighton. So this is Newcastle's running.
Yeah.
Well, I predicted them at the start of the season to be in the Champions League again, so I can't see them not making top 6, to be fair.
Well, they've got Palace, that's winnable. Sheffield United, definitely winnable. Burnley, winnable. Brighton,
They haven't got a bad run in, really.
Tough game for them, but they are at home, so that's winnable. United, away, that's definitely winnable because they love going to United and upsetting them.
Yeah.
And Brentford, that's
probably the hardest game for me, Brentford away.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other clubs, but you look at that and the way Newcastle go about their business when everyone's fit, they're quite a good team, aren't they?
Yeah. Sharky, are you viewing on my channel or are you viewing on the Boleyn Lounge? Because if you're on my channel, you won't see all the other chat. So if you're in my channel and you want to see the other chat, and switch yourself over to the Boleyn Lounge. Anyway, go on, carry on. Sorry, yeah.
No, that's all right.
Maybe if the red bottle jobs, sit all day long. Yeah.
Oh God, have you seen that meme going round of Arteta as a vegetable?
Yeah.
Arteta choke.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I'll send it to Nick.
Happy's been sending it to all the groups and that. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Mind you, Budgie, that show, the show I did on Sunday, that thumbnail of King Mikel, and there's off the Barcelona, you see Mikel running in the little thumbnail thing. That was a class thing, that was.
Yeah. United, who they got? Ooh, Sheffield United, winnable. Burnley, winnable.
James, thanks for joining.
Definitely winnable. Arsenal, like I said before, I don't know. I think Arsenal will probably take that. Newcastle, I think Newcastle are going to win that, and Brighton.
Again, it's very sad for English football that the biggest club in this country, and arguably the biggest club in the world, is we're talking about can they get even Europa League, not Europa League, Conference League. It's not good. It's not good for English football, and it's like saying Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or Roma or whatever Milan teams in Italy. You need Man United need to be in there. It's just such a massive club, and
unfortunately, mixed status does not give you privilege.
No. I'm not saying that.
And to be fair, they've got to earn their way into these competitions.
Of course they have. But then why are they even in this state?
I understand the sentiment of what you're saying, but I'm so anti-Man United, I couldn't give a shit if they don't even qualify for the Premier League. I swear to God, I don't. I'd rather see them down in League One.
Well, that's the owners making it the Glazers, the way they've run the club.
Yeah. Just a shame to see such, that club is so supported all around the world, genuinely supported all around the world.
Of course they are, but the problem is as well, even if they do qualify for the Europa League, because obviously Ratcliffe and his dual ownership, they're more likely to be playing in the conference.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make Europe.
Well, let's hope not, mate.
I don't think they will.
Let's hope that we can win our games and they lose quite a few, and we can swap places. That's what we're hoping for at the end.
There's our running.
Right, so we've got Palace. Now
that's not an easy game.
Historically, a fucking tough game for us. So, but it is winnable. It is winnable if we, deploy the right tactics. Liverpool, I think that's a write-off for us. Chelsea, they haven't beaten us in 3 games yet, have they? 4 games.
That'll change then, won't it?
Well, especially after the way they played last night. And to be fair, who was it that said it? who was it that said it? Andy Townsend said that Chelsea didn't particularly play well last night. It's just that Everton were particularly poor. I watched the whole game. I didn't. I thought Chelsea was brilliant.
I only see 4 points there, maximum.
Welcome back, Sharky.
Luton's winnable.
Yeah.
Man City, well, that's nailed on, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get 3 points from that one. Nailed on. No,
honestly, I can only see 4 points there at most.
I think if we take a point from City, that to me, at the end of the season, last game of the season, I think to me that would probably mean more to me than, you know, any of the other games in that list. We get 1 point against City. You know.
Moving on to, I think, the danger team for everyone on the running for the European spots, and that is Chelsea. They seem to be in form.
They've got the 2 games in hand, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
They have, yeah.
And they're hitting form just at the right time. But they have got some tough games in there. So
a lot of tough games in there.
Arsenal, that's probably going to be tough for them. Villa's going to be tough for them. Tottenham's going to be tough for them. We're going to be tough for them. Forest, that should be easy for them. And Brighton's going to be tough. That's a tough run in for them, actually. We generally turn up for Chelsea games.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, at the moment, Arsenal are flying. Villa are flying. Tottenham are doing really well. As I said, we always turn up. Forest, you know, they're hot and cold, hit and miss. And Brighton, I didn't see Bournemouth down the bottom there. That's a tough game as well. I think they've got the hardest run.
Bournemouth, though, probably makes a difference for it being a bit easier for them than if it was away.
Yeah, probably.
And then the final team that's involved really in the European race is Brighton.
I think
they're running.
I think they're a bit West Ham-y, aren't they? You can't really predict what they're going to do. Yeah, they're a bit hot and cold, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They win 4-0 and then lose 4-0.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to get anything against City. Brighton, that's one of their, what they call their derbies, isn't it? It's a South Coast derby.
South Coast derby, yeah. That could be an hard one.
That's going to be a tough one for them. And Bournemouth are doing all right at the moment. Villa, as I said, they're flying. I think they're going to smash Brighton. Newcastle, they'll do them. Chelsea, I think they'll have a tough game, but I think Chelsea will win that. And then Man United, I don't think they're going to get much against.
And they've got some tough fixtures in there as well, haven't they, Brighton?
Yeah, they have.
Coming up against.
So who finishes 6th and 7th then, guys? Because they're the 2 spots left, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, we'll do our predictor in a minute and we'll find out.
Well, what do we think before the predictor?
I think
we're going to finish
Newcastle, Man United, probably. No, Newcastle and Chelsea.
I'm going Newcastle, Chelsea as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Newcastle and Chelsea. Tony.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement on it. I mean, it's you know, we don't want to really say it, but let's be the realist in that. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. It's going to be that. Sorry to say.
Coming in, Jeff.
And for the relegation spots, I haven't included Burnley and Sheffield United. I think they're gone. And so I think there's only 3 teams that are really involved. And I think that's Everton, Forest and Luton. So this is Everton's running.
It's clearly going to be Everton or Forest.
That's where I am in the chat now.
Oh dear, they got some big games, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see the bottom of it now.
I'll hold on.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Just start where you are, and then you'll find it. It's not Everton Forest. I think that's a Forest win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do I. Yeah.
Mm.
Not
Everton,
based on
Liverpool.
last night's game, just on that Forest do score goals, whereas Everton don't.
Yes. Everton, Liverpool, we've sort of covered that, but I think it's a Liverpool win. What about you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough
Brentford,
game, Brentford.
Brentford's a tough game for them.
Brentford will outplay them and score goals again.
Yeah. Luton,
Luton will
Everton.
murder them.
Do you have some kind of allegiance with them at all, by any chance?
Well, Luton,
Yeah.
just a little bit, yeah. Yeah. No, I fancy Luton to beat Everton, to be fair. So.
Yeah, I fancy them to beat them as well, actually, I've got to be honest. Sheffield United, I think that's Everton's.
Yeah,
And
probably.
Arsenal to win the final game.
I only see 3 definite points in that, and the rest, if they get them, there'll be a scrappy point here or there. I can't really see them doing much now.
Yeah.
That's devastating last night. Devastating.
Yeah, it's a massive win.
Yeah.
Devastating.
I mean, it was sort of, from Chelsea's point of view, that game was going to come at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They were building to that over the last few weeks. And then, all right, okay, take away that childish nonsense over the penalty. It was a bloody good performance by Chelsea, I thought. Yeah. And that coming for weeks and weeks. Whereas Everton have been so inconsistent all season. For the last 3 seasons, they've been inconsistent. But particularly this season, I can't see them surviving. I really can't. And that's sad because they're one of the few teams that have never been relegated from the top flight.
Yes.
Always been in top flight. I think 1930 or 40 something was the last time they were out.
I did see the stat. I forget it was 60 odd years since they dropped out. 70 odd years since they were last out of the flight. But Sean Dyche has been like, the master manager. Well, he's had a lot more resources.
Again, going back to the point I said about, Man United, about status doesn't give you privilege.
No, it doesn't.
It's like, Everton deserve to be where they are because they just haven't been good enough.
Big up, How we doing, mate?
And I've got to be honest with you, if it comes to, Merseyside, I would rather support the Blues than the Reds anyway. But unfortunately, Everton are where they deserve to be.
Very good, Sharky.
Sticky
situation for the Toffees.
I'll have to chew on that one. Think about it.
Yeah. Come on, let's wrap that up. Anyway, right. So Forest
got the best running. Looking at that.
Oh yeah, Everton. That's winnable.
Yeah.
Winnable
Man City. That's foregone. That's Man City's going. Sheffield United. That's Forest game.
Thanks for popping in, Miss Hammerett.
Chelsea. Winnable for Forest if the right Forest turn up. Who's that underneath it? Sorry, I can't see it.
Chelsea.
Burnley. That's winnable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the best running for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're surviving.
No, Luton are staying up. Go on, go next.
This is Luton's running.
Really? Are they in this?
Well, they're only,
I wouldn't have noticed they were even like part of the show. Right.
On paper, he wouldn't give Luton a hope against Brentford, to be fair, like on paper. But just Luton just keep going and going. And that's just 3 points that has to be had on Saturday.
Yeah. See, I mean, like they played Forest and they got a 1-1 draw out of it. And they almost won against Bournemouth. Bournemouth came back at them.
They were 3-0 up. They threw it away.
That's right.
Quicker to win the league.
Well, yeah.
Just so you know, Mick, he's a Forest fan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, great bloke. Great.
Fantastic geezer. Fantastic.
It's a good job we let anyone on this show, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. If ever you want a Nottingham Forest point of view,
Excellent,
that's the man to go to, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is the man to go
Sorry,
to.
what was that, Budgie?
If ever you want a Nottingham Forest perspective on anything, that's the man to go to. I mean, he would be happy to sit on the panel with you and discuss the games and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we've got actually, between Tony and I, we've got a long list of different people from different teams that we can, we can help you out with. They all love doing it, all of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Craig fancies Luton
we've
to win
even got
against
a secret Newcastle fan.
Bournemouth.
2-1 win against
She's not so
Lake.
secret, but
2-1 win against Bournemouth.
Okay, so we've all skipped through those fixtures there, and I found this Prem
So who we say is
prediction.
going down then, Jeff?
Well, what
Who's
I've
the
done
third,
is
who's the third team?
No, before you do your Optima, who are you saying?
me,
Hmm.
Everton, I hope.
And Everton as a third team down, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sheffield United, Burnley are gone, right? In my
What
eyes.
do you reckon, Budge?
oh,
Who?
regrettably Everton.
Yeah, well, not regrettably, as long as it's not Luton, I don't care. So Everton go down or Forest, I don't mind.
Who did you say, Tony?
I mean, obviously, you want Luton to stay up, kind of thing, considering where they've been and where they've got themselves to. You want them to stay up, but with this point deduction and the game, the running that Everton's got, you've got to say it's more than likely it's going to be Everton's last chance. Hurrah! And they're not going to get out of it this time. They've always managed to get out of it. They've always been down that bottom end. They've always managed to fight out the last couple of games to stay up. But I think their luck's run out this time.
Do we think they're doing a Southampton, flirted with it too often? And
yeah, of course. Just tickling the bottom as always.
Well, I mean, look at West Ham historically. I mean, we've flirted with relegation a number of times, and then all of a sudden, bang, we're in Championship.
Yeah.
Okay, it hasn't happened for some time now. The longest period, I think. The longest period in the Premier League, isn't it? Right now.
Yeah.
And we've got no fear of being there this season, of course, but.
There's always next season, though.
Yeah, but there was last season as well.
Yes,
people
definitely.
tend to forget we were flirting with relegation while we were becoming champions of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So the last couple of results have got us back up to where we were.
Exactly that. I think the European results buoyed the boys enough to get it over the line. Okay, we hadn't won it at that point at the end of the season, but the fact remains is we were in the final by that time.
Mm-hmm.
That must have given them that extra zing. Must have done, and obviously it was Declan's last hurrah as well, so he wanted to go out. Like he didn't want to be leaving a championship team.
No.
He doesn't want West Ham to do badly. He wants himself to be better, but he doesn't want West Ham to do badly.
Very valid point from Keith here, who says all these crucial games and their outcomes are, of course, subject to referees and VARs.
Yeah.
Agenda. And,
that's true.
It really could be a spanner in the works. So, we'll see how
and
out
to be fair,
these
Keith
games.
knows exactly what he's talking about on that point as well, because he is an ex-FA referee. So he knows.
Just having a chat, doing their predictions for who they think is going to go down as well.
But I mean that's a really good point, though. I mean we got to remember also that we could have actually have been 5th or 6th at this point of the season if a number of VAR decisions had gone our way rather than against us. So
and if we hadn't thrown away 3 points at Newcastle, we'd still be in a much better place than we are now.
Well, of course, yeah, but we've sometimes someone pulls the pin and forgets to throw it.
There's a few games, Jeff, that comes to mind that we should have been winning those games. And
there is a few, but I mean, Newcastle is an absolute howler.
Yeah.
You can't be 3-1
And
up
I
away from home
think
and
also-
throw it
I
away.
think also the away game at Fulham was howler as well.
Sure. Yeah.
That was
Yeah, but we were
5-0
just
drop.
battered there. So
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they've had 6 points and 7 goals against us without any return. You know, I'm not being funny or nothing. I haven't bumped into one yet, but if I meet a Fulham fan, I'm going to buy him a beer. I'm going to say to him, "Fair fucking play, mate."
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's not many teams that have done that against us. You know, not many. But, you know, especially not, you know, mid-table teams. You know, they just generally don't get that many goals against us. You know?
let's have a look at this calculator and see how we think it's
Hold
going
on,
to
Jeff.
work out.
Just say
Some
Steve.
results
Steve,
here.
West Ham United bells. He's leaving there, so he's got an early one tomorrow. So take care,
Right.
Steve.
Thanks,
Catch you
Okay,
next time.
Thanks for
Steve,
joining
thanks
us.
for coming in, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Okay, so you can see here.
There we go. Where's my goggles?
Can you see
What-
that? We're
What
going
we're
to
looking for?
do these scores. Luton Brentford, home, draw, or away? What's the consensus? You tell me. I'll just put in the results. You tell me.
Luton Brentford, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a Brentford win. What about you,
Do you?
boys? Yeah, I do.
Evening, Scott Oakes.
What
I
about
think
you,
Luton
Nick?
might
What do you
win that.
think? Luton Brentford.
Luton Brentford. I'm going to go with my heart, mate, and just say 2-0 Luton.
Okay. Tony?
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably a home win. An away win to Brentford because Luton just can't seem to get across the line sometimes, especially games like that. You know, these teams they play against.
Okay,
so that's
so
a 2
I said
2-1 vote
we've got
for
2
Brentford
home
win.
wins and 2 away wins, so I'll make it a draw. All right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, that
that's
sounds
fine.
about right.
That's fine. That's fine. Good evening,
Wolverhampton,
Steve
Arsenal.
Turley. What's that, sorry?
That's Wolverhampton Arsenal badge.
Oh, right.
Wolves,
Right.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to read that.
Arsenal.
And letters are false. Arsenal win. Yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal win.
Okay. Everton, Forest. Everyone thinks
Forest win.
Forest will win, don't they?
Yeah,
I'm going to go for a draw there after the debacle of the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go for a Forest win actually on that one.
What do you say, Budgie?
I'll say Forest win.
Okay, so we'll go with the consensus. Palace, West Ham.
I
Hate
think
to say it, but probably Palace.
it's a draw.
Yeah, that's what I've got as well. I think obviously they're probably too excited after the Liverpool game, so something like that, we'll go for a draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Draw then. Fulham, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Arsenal, Chelsea.
Arsenal, Chelsea. I thought we'd done Arsenal a minute ago, no?
Yeah, but this is fixtures for all of the teams that we featured.
All right. Yeah.
That's
To the end of the season.
that's a 23rd, Mick. That game. So
Oh,
that's something, yeah,
Arsenal, Chelsea. It's an Arsenal win for me.
yeah, Arsenal win.
Right, Jeff, I'm going to have to leave as well because I'm up at 5 in the morning, mate. Yeah. And
No
I didn't-
problem, mate.
I
I'll let
didn't-
you know how this worked out.
I didn't finish long before I came on anyway. You know, you're on the phone to me, see what I was doing. Yeah.
No worries,
All right,
Daddy. I'll
Take
stay
it easy,
there.
mate. And you as well, Mick. Take it easy.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
See ya. Take care,
See you,
boys.
mate.
All the best. What is this?
Palace, Newcastle,
Take care,
lads.
mate.
What does
Bye.
everyone think?
Newcastle.
Newcastle,
Budgie?
yeah. I think
Okay.
nailed on Newcastle.
Everton,
Yeah.
Liverpool.
I think Liverpool.
Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Liverpool. I think they're just going to be a bit too strong for Everton.
Yeah.
Man United, Sheffield United.
Man United.
I'm going to sit on the
Tony?
fence in this one. Possibly a draw in this one.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jeff, you get the
I think
decider.
United will win, so that'll be two for the home win.
Mhm.
Brighton, Man City.
I think we're all unanimous on that one.
Yeah.
City.
City win.
Yeah.
West Ham, Liverpool.
I don't want to say it, but Liverpool win.
Tony.
Yeah, I think Liverpool, they just get the better of us sometimes, don't they?
All the time.
Man United, Burnley.
Man United, I think we'll get that.
Yeah, Man U.
Newcastle, Sheffield United.
Newcastle.
Yeah, home win, yeah, Newcastle.
Wolves, Luton.
Ooh.
It could be a tough game for Wolves, but I think Wolves would probably nick it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, one of those 2-1 games, isn't it? One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-1,
so-
3-2.
You going home win,
4-3,
Tony?
whatever.
Yeah, home win as well.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Everton, Brentford.
I think that's an away win.
Tony.
Personally.
Everton, Brentford. I'm going to go for a draw on that as well.
Ooh,
I think that might be a draw as well. So
go for it.
one on the draw.
Go for
Villa,
it.
Chelsea.
Oof.
It's a tough one to call, isn't it?
In it.
Will they cancel each other out? That's the thing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Draw.
Ollie Watkins is
Yeah.
on fire, though.
Well, yeah.
I think maybe a draw.
Yeah, draw. I think we're unanimous on that one.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Brighton.
Oh, the South Coast Derby.
Yeah. I would love to see Brighton win that, to be fair.
Do you think it's an away win, Budgie?
Brighton win, yeah. Whether they're
What about
away
you,
or
Tony?
home.
I think Bournemouth, myself, Solanke doing a special.
Could be, yeah.
Oh wow! I think it might be a draw, so I'll stick a draw in there.
I'm a little birdie. I'm the one supposed to be on the fence here.
Tottenham, Arsenal.
Ooh.
North London Derby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Turf, as they call it, isn't it? Something like that.
Well, as long as Van der Ven's got the right kind of boots on his feet, then it could be a Spurs win.
Yeah, I think that as
And
well.
what about you, Budgie? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that could be happening as well. You know,
So you go for a Spurs
Timo
win, yeah?
Werner, he turns up in games like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
go with that. Forest, City.
that's going to be a City win, isn't it?
I'd say City as well, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Spurs.
Can I go for Chelsea on that one to win?
I think I would go for Chelsea to win that and all.
Okay.
And that's actually kind of basing it on the teams, not on which team I prefer. I mean, Tottenham have been playing really well, but you know, Luton, Everton. I'll go for a Luton win.
Yeah, I'm going for Luton as well.
Okay. Arsenal, Bournemouth.
I think that's an Arsenal win.
Yeah. Arsenal as well.
Brighton, Villa.
I think I'll just go for a Villa on that one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Away win, Budgie?
Yeah, I'm going for a Villa win. Yeah, because I think on current form, they're going to be too much for Brighton.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Burnley, Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest.
I don't think Sheffield United are going to survive, so I think it's going to be a Forest win.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Man City, Wolves.
Probably the toughest game Man City have got in their running. Wolves are unpredictably good at times.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to go for a Wolves win, 1-0.
Okay, what do you think, Tony?
I think it's one of those games, if they're going to slip up kind of thing, this could be a draw.
All right, we'll stick a draw in.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Chelsea, West Ham.
Hang on, I've got to take my claret and blue glasses off for a moment.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
I
West
apologise to
Ham
the chat. I can't
Chelsea
see the
as
chat
well.
at the moment, so I can't see your comments, but I will catch up with you.
I want us to do the double over them. I think on away win.
We all
West
want
Ham.
that, but what's going to happen?
We
Well,
always
yeah,
turn up against Chelsea, though.
And hopefully by that stage we'll have all, the players fit at that stage as well. So I'm hoping, I'm going to go with Budge for West Ham win.
So you're both sticking your neck out for an away win?
Yeah. I'm hoping
Okay.
to be there and all.
I don't agree with you. So I think the best we'll get is a draw, but we'll go with the away win. Liverpool, Spurs.
Ooh.
I think Liverpool nick it. They always do against them. Always.
Tony?
Sorry, I just see the comment from Teacher Zednek. I think Liverpool as well.
Palace, United. That's quite a tough one, the way United are playing.
It is.
I know. That's why I'm thinking.
And obviously Glasner's kind of got Palace playing a certain style there, because it could be one of those where...
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a draw in that game.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way as well, I think.
Draw?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Fulham, Man City.
I think Fulham may surprise a lot of people and get a win at that, because they're at home, they're comfortable at home. They're playing really well at the moment. As long as they've got Willian on the pitch and that other lad over on the other side, I think Pereira, is it?
Yeah.
Pereira?
Yeah.
As long as they got those two fit, I think they might upset City.
What's your thoughts, Tony?
I don't know. As we get into the final hurdle of the season, I think Pep ain't going to give anything up here, so I'm going to go for a City win.
I fancy City to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll split the difference and say it's a draw.
That's
Everton, Sheffield United.
Relegation battle. Everton,
Yeah,
Sheffield United.
well, Sheffield United, didn't they?
I think that's where Everton get their 3 points, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Sheffield United is poor, aren't they? They've already got that -2 points when they go down to the Championship. They're on -2 points already, aren't they? So, yeah, I think it's an Everton game.
Home win?
Yeah.
Newcastle, Brighton.
It's never easy to go to Newcastle for anybody.
No.
Never.
Well, let's hope that Newcastle do what they did last season when they played Arsenal, and also they thought Newcastle was going to win it, and they got spanked 2-0 by them. So hopefully it'll be a Newcastle win.
And do you fancy Newcastle to win, Budgie?
I do, yeah. They're at home. It's never easy to go to St James's, never.
West Ham, Luton?
I think that's a West Ham win.
Tony?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to make it hard work, but I think we'll have it.
Forest, Chelsea.
That's a Chelsea win for me.
You saying, Tony?
Yeah, I think Chelsea as well.
I think they're too strong for
unless at that stage Cole Palmer's injured kind of thing, then it's a Forest win.
Man United, Arsenal.
That's a good game. That's going to be a good game.
Going to go for a draw on that one. They seem to.
I would fancy a draw on that one too. I've got to be honest.
I think they just cancel each other out as always.
Yeah.
Villa, Liverpool.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not an easy one either, is it? I fancy Villa on that one.
I do. I do.
Going for a home win.
But then, you know, like Happy would say, the game will go into cloppage time, and you know what happens in cloppage time. Same thing that used to happen in Fergie time.
Yeah,
you know,
it's one of those games, isn't it? That's the thing.
I'm going for
Are
a
you
draw
saying a
on that
home
one.
win, Tony? What are you saying, buddy?
I'm saying home win.
Yeah, I'm saying a draw.
A draw.
You're the
Okay.
decider, Jeff.
We'll give no one 3 points and say it's a draw, right?
Okay.
Spurs and City.
Another good game. That's going to be a damn good game. I
It
think
is,
City
yeah.
has to have too much for them though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
away win, do you think?
Away win. Yep.
Yeah.
Away win.
Yeah.
Brighton, Chelsea.
Brighton, Chelsea. I'll fancy a draw on that.
Tony?
Brighton, Chelsea. Well, I'm going to go for away win because I think Chelsea's going to be a bit too strong for Brighton at that stage.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, go with the away win.
Right.
Yeah.
Man United, Newcastle.
Like I said, Newcastle love going to Manchester United and upsetting them. They love doing that.
Oh, it's a hat trick. Yeah, I'll go for Newcastle win.
Yeah, I'm heavily leaning that way myself. Newcastle
So,
win
away
3-0. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
big win and all.
Arsenal, Everton. I think that's a nailed
Yeah,
on
that's-
home win. Isn't it?
Yeah, home win, yeah.
You agree with that, Tony, or not?
Yeah, I will do. I mean, you know, you got off. Yeah, they're not the same team. Everton, who played them before and drew with them. So nah, too strong. Brentford, Newcastle.
Brentford, Newcastle.
I'm going to go with a slim Newcastle win. So an away win for me.
Tony?
I was thinking that, but again, Brentford, they're one of those unpredictable teams, aren't they? So I'm going to go for a draw on this one.
Mm.
They either turn up or they
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
We'll split the difference and say a point apiece then.
Yeah.
Brighton, Man United.
I think Brighton are going to beat them. Home win for me.
Tony?
Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, like again, Man United
Home
finished, aren't they? They're finished, Man United.
Burnley, Forest.
Probably going to be an away win for me, I think. I think Forest will overrun them.
Well, Burnley's playing some better football of late, but
Yeah, but I mean, look at the way that he just runs through defences.
yeah, he does. Yeah, I mean, you know,
He
if
tore us apart.
yeah, I know that part. But yeah, Forest should, if they got everyone switched on and that, it should be a Forest win, shouldn't it? Really?
So you want away win?
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Chelsea, Bournemouth.
I think that's a home win, personally.
Yeah, same here.
Liverpool, Wolves.
Going to go with Liverpool win. I mean, Wolves will come at them, but I think
Yeah.
Liverpool will just get over the line.
I think Liverpool definitely get it over the line. Yeah.
Luton, Fulham.
Ooh.
That's a really good game. That's a really
Yeah.
good game. But the
Last
right
game of the
Fulham,
season for Luton.
Yeah,
They might
I
need 3
think-
points to stay up.
yeah, they might do. But if the right Fulham turn up, then who knows what happens?
Might be on the beach, might they? They'll have nothing to play for.
yeah. But as you said, for Luton's point of view, and that it's the last game of the season, and that so you want to have the team going out there and playing out their skills.
Even if they're down, it'll be the last game at Kenilworth Road in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not trying to influence it. Just
no. All these points matter. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go with a Luton win, shall we?
Yeah, I'm on with that one.
Man City, West Ham. Don't think we really need to ask. We know what the result's going to be, don't we? But I'll let you shout it out.
I'm going to go with a draw.
Are you?
Yes.
Tony?
Yeah, strange enough, I'm on the same way of thinking. It's one of those where if City thinks they've got it, and we rock up with a corner, or Suchik up there, put it at a top right-hand corner, done.
Or Caduce picks it up on our goal line.
It does the old
120-yard run, pops it in the net, picks it up, brings it back, puts it on the centre spot, and goes, there you go, boys.
So you fancy a draw, do you, boys?
I do. I fancy a draw, yeah.
And what way are you leaning, Tony?
Yeah, draw as well,
Okay.
If the title's going to be decided by the last game of the season, let it be us to make the decider for it all.
Right, let's see what the final league table looks like if we're right. That means
Ooh, look at that.
Liverpool will win the league.
Ooh.
City second, Arsenal third. Newcastle and Chelsea will finish in 6th and 7th. We will finish 9th. I did this earlier. I didn't do all the same results, but where we finished came out exactly the same, 9th. And Luton will survive, and it's Everton that go down with Burnley and Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how accurate we're going to be, lads. But,
no, well, I mean, it's a game of football, isn't it? Anything can change, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And like Keith rightly pointed out earlier,
way back.
Yeah, and like Keith rightly pointed out earlier, the VAR and the refereeing decisions are going to make a big difference to a lot of them results.
Yeah, I've got no idea where I was in the chat, so I've got to try and find the place.
We put out a reasonably fair shout for a draw against Man City on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
That could easily be taken away from us by, like a VAR decision, turning a goal over. Or,
we were
a
somewhere
dodgy
around
penalty decision to give them a penalty in the 99th minute or something. You know what I mean? So
there we are. Keep sports.
Yeah.
We're somewhere around here.
Yeah, she's around that area. Jeff, I just went back to have a look myself. You're around that area. So you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
So I'll try and catch up with your comments in the chat, everyone. I'll let you two. Yeah. So happy to be watching a lot of the Championship next year if Luton do get relegated, obviously.
Yeah. But do you know something though? He isn't a bad shout for replacing Moyes if he does go down with what's his name? So
yeah, that's true. Look, the guy spilling the ball, yeah. That's short of number 44 last in to win the league. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so looks like if we're right, Liverpool going to win the league then. And Everton are going to go down and we will miss out on Europe. I'll be interested to see what everyone in the chat thinks about that, if they broadly agree with what we've done or not. Please let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Absolutely, Keith. Yeah. And we've seen the evidence of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, Keith has had some experience in refereeing, not at that level, obviously, and not with the technologies that are available. I don't think either. But like it's hard enough being a referee. Trust me, it's hard enough being a referee in the game at any level. But to be at what is considered to be the best level of world football,
Steve, thanks for joining.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, to be at the best level of football and to be an official, it's got to be a lot of pressure on you. Now, we understand that. As fans, we understand there's going to be mistakes. But, like Keith just said, massive mistakes consistently, week after week after week. And it seems to be the same handful of teams that are suffering as a result of these mistakes. You know, the teams the like of Burnley, Sheffield United, Everton, West Ham, you know, these teams that are not popular in the media, you know, these seem to be, you know, the greedy six seem to get a lot of decisions going their way. You know, some of the newer teams like, you know, Aston Villa and Newcastle seem to be getting the rub of the green a lot of the time, you know. But having said that, Chelsea aren't getting all the decisions going their way. I noticed a few of their decisions have been very harsh on them. But in general, you know, the top tier teams seem to get favourable decisions, which is kind of, to me, that's cheating at a much higher level.
Well, you've seen that. I mean, like, you know, the Man United games over the years, how they've got away with it. And the problem is this season, some of the decisions that have made, and the referee sees no wrong in it on VAR, where they've missed so many chances. That makes a decision about a team going down or winning the league. And you've seen it so many times. And you're right, Budge. Is it corruption? Is it the case of they're looking after the top six because obviously it's the Premier League? They don't want to spoil that status of what the league is all about. But when it's clear and obvious, and you know, look at, you know, when we played Bristol, when the fella nearly took his leg off because VAR is not there, but it was at the London Stadium. You know straight away that's being pulled off, and he's being pulled off straight away. But the fact that he could do that challenge and basically get away with it, referees' common sense should tell you that, you know. But they saw no wrong in it in that change, in that challenge. I say, you know, it's wrong.
Yeah. And,
I think it was your boys' draw against us what gave Liverpool the league. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll win at City. I think they will turn us over. So City probably win the league.
Yeah. But I mean,
great shout by sorry, Budge. I'll say great shout by Sharky here, because when you look at it, they're already in League One now. The Wrexham band is marching on. Premier League in a few years.
Not for the title,
North London, Woolwich Ferry FC Reject Club, absolutely, Keith. Yeah, North London forever. Bloody hell!
Don't let Jezzy you talking like that. You'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
he already knows. He already knows. Jeff, he knows that one. He can't stand that song either.
I don't think anyone can.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, but on the point of the refereeing and the decision making and stuff like that, I mean, I haven't heard this directly from a referee or an ex-referee, so Keith hasn't said this to me, but I have heard talk where, you know, referees have meetings, or the Referees Association or the FA or whatever it is, they have meetings and they're told, you know, certain teams have certain leniency and other teams don't, you know, and things like that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I have never been told that from an official point of view, but I wouldn't go too mad disbelieving it, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's money in these top teams, more money than there is, you know, and there's prestige and all that sort of stuff.
You see that
I saw this earlier.
That's a great one.
Old Hanley, bless him. Well, this is just an extension of it then. Let's call it.
Have to get Kieran on sometime, Budgie.
Yeah, definitely. He'd love to do it, I think. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have to do a later show though, won't we? Because it's the time.
Yeah. I mean, this is the middle of the night for him, bless him. Cotton socks. Mind you, he gets up at about 5-6 o'clock in the morning for him, so he would be awake now, would he? Hang on, he's 9 hours in front of us. So 12 hours would be 9. Yeah, it'd be about 6 in the morning for him right now. So if you started at 9, you know, he would probably be able to come on at some time between 9 and 9:30, I'm sure.
Yeah. Did you see that comment from Abby? She's doing her predictor.
Well, you got to be careful putting comments up like that. Remember whose car you're using. Yeah, brilliant.
Well, I don't know what viewing that was like, to be honest with you. It's probably a bit drawn out for those in the chat, but I just thought it'd be interesting to see how it the table turns out on the predictions.
Oh, I think the chat might have enjoyed us lot making an arse of ourselves, making predictions on all them games. Yeah, like West Ham going to get a draw against City, like Fulham are going to beat City. It's not going to happen. Oh, I mean, I know I said that, but you know, anyway. Yes.
Well, Hamlet did ask where the upsets were.
There's a comment down there from Keith, right down near the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'll read it out. You don't have to display it.
Okay, go on, then I'll get to it. You read it out.
Yeah. It says, Budgie, that is correct, mate. Referees are given instructions on what is expected of them in certain games.
Wow.
There you go. That's from an ex-FA referee.
Yeah.
So, and he's happy to admit that on screen, etc. You know what I mean? So, you know, so yeah, that there are instructions given to them. You know, like I said, that's got to be considered corruption. Surely, I mean, that's.
Yeah, but you see it in many sports as well, though, Budgie, didn't you? You know, I mean, blimey, you remember when like Chris Eubank was WBO champion and that they protected him to the hilt. There's other boxers out fought him, but because he was their star boy, he was protected. No two ways about it. And yeah, you know, when you look at things like that, if that is the case, then yeah, that's sad for the lower teams.
Yeah, it is, and you know, I mean, like I said. You know, it is teams like Burnley and Luton and Everton and that have been suffering heavily this year because of that. You know.
Oh, look at that! Sorry, mate. I just say Barcelona's manager just got red carded for kicking the camera.
Who is Barcelona's manager?
Is it Xavi still? Is he still in there? Or is he? He goes at the end of the season, doesn't he? Yeah,
that's
Xavi.
It. Yeah, Xavi. Kulishevsky, what's happened to him? Expected see a lot more from him this season.
So I think he was injured.
For them, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a couple of injuries. I don't know how severe they were, but I do know that sometimes mental recovery takes a lot longer than the physical.
Is that what's happened to Cornet?
I believe so. I believe so. And, you know, certain other players as well. I mean, clearly it doesn't affect Kurt Zuma because the geezer's like a flipping rhinoceros. He'll come out and keep attacking the Land Rover. Do you know what I mean? And I admire him for that. He might not be the most mobile player on the pitch. In fact, he's probably the least mobile player in the Premier League. But he's like a rhino.
They probably do the same to him like they did to Phil Parks, inject him a load of cortisone in his knees and that just to get him moving.
Exactly that. As long as it's not an illegal substance, he'll take it. You know what I mean? You know, and I've got to be fair, I did that with my shoulder for a long time. And I was competing in judo and I dislocated my shoulder in a world championship, actually. It was a junior world championship, but it was at Crystal Palace Auditorium or whatever you call it, Sports Centre, whatever. I actually won the bout, but my shoulder was injured so badly I couldn't go into the final. Sorry, the semi-final. So I didn't actually qualify for the final because I couldn't get into the semi. My shoulder was injured. But for years after that, you know, I was going to the doctors every Friday and having cortisone injections in my shoulder so that I could play football at weekends and do judo during the week. You know, and I was only 14 at the time.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. It's a long time ago, But
I've got to agree with Happy here. I'm afraid, Budgie. I do think your draw prediction at City is a little ambitious. I think we'll get royally.
yeah,
over
I said
there.
that, didn't I? I mean, I said I bet the chat think that I'm mental considering that we could get a draw. But you know, I'm going by
Yeah, it's true.
past history, if you want. You know, can't remember what the result was in our last game against them last season, because they were our last game last season as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
I've got to admire Barry's optimism here. He says we're not finishing ninth. We've got the 6th spot. So
yeah,
well, let's hope we
optimistic,
pick up the points.
optimistic.
Yeah, very optimistic.
Yeah, actually, not far. Second team now, Happy Luton. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
You know, Rob Edwards, isn't it?
I think actually, to be fair, the way Luton have conducted themselves and how scrappy they are, they've probably made quite a few people will see them as their second team and kind of wish them well.
Yeah.
They're having a great account.
And, you know,
of themselves.
like Tony pointed out earlier, the trials and tribulations they went through going to non-league they went down to?
Non-league, yeah.
Yeah, they got minus 30 points. They went.
Yeah,
they went out
I mean, they were
all the way up.
literally raped by the FA, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, to see them battling their way back season after season through league after league, they got themselves in the Premier League. They've had a couple of very good results this year against very good teams, you know, and you know, I don't think they're going to go down. I really do believe that they will survive. I really do. But if they did go down, I wouldn't mind having Rob Edwards as our manager. He played some good football.
I think it's not too far away. I don't know if he agreed with our results predictions, but he thinks City will win the title. We'll finish 10th, where we had us coming out ninth, and Everton to go down. So
yeah.
Happy agrees with that.
Yeah. Stevie Wonder is on VAR Thursday night, I've heard.
Is VAR going to matter on Thursday night? I mean, we haven't really spoken about that, but
no. But the thing is, you know,
down.
I mean, look,
no
it's
Bowen,
only
Paqueta,
2-0.
No Emerson.
Yeah, that's the point. I was going to say it's only 2-0. Under normal circumstances, we might be able to fight back. We fought back from 1-0 down against Freiburg, and we absolutely destroyed them at home. There's no reason why we couldn't do that against Leverkusen if we had those players available. But the alternatives, who are the alternatives? Danny Ings as a number 10?
Yeah, I mean, we're struggling, aren't we?
Yeah. Antonio's definitely nailed on at the start. I think you'll find Kudus out on the left. I think we'll find probably JWP out on the right. Perhaps. I don't know. Is he quick enough to be out on that right wing? Probably not.
Probably not.
You know, Ben Johnson. I suppose he's a good shout for that position.
That's probably the only one I'd say would take that area. We won't put JWP there, that's for sure.
No, you would have wanted if you're going to play JWP, you'd want him right there with Alvarez. I think.
Yeah.
You know, Alvarez defending it, and
Souček's going to play there, though, isn't he?
Forward. Quite possibly, he might play the 10 role.
JWP.
You know? No, Souček might go in the 10 role in the middle there behind. Antonio.
Where does Ings go then if he plays?
I'll put him out the left myself.
Does he play? Yeah, but does he play?
I don't know.
You know,
left side's a real problem, isn't it?
It is, and I think Kudus is the only option we've got this week. Unless you play,
predict to get us. We got 9th. Happy 9th.
Yeah. You know, we've got no Emerson, so we've got to play Creswell out on that left-hand side. Budgie, you can. Oi. Sweetheart, you wouldn't want me to prove you wrong. Right.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Shut up. Fucking hell. Anyway, changing the subject rather sharp.
Evening, Steve. Evening. You've just missed it. Budgie can't get a semi, apparently. So you just said it here live.
Fucking hell. There's something wrong with you. Jesus. No, it's all or nothing for me, mate. Yeah. No. I was going to come out with a joke then, but I thought I'd better.
Yeah, but not this. Yeah. But the thing is, as you said, when you look at the bench, you can't really. What do you turn to? It's...
Well, look, I know he don't like Cornet, so why ain't we considering him for the left-hand side? Because we know Dave Moyes would rather not start him. But to be fair, right at this moment in time, he is the man to use out there.
Yeah, well,
he's naturally a left winger,
and that's what we should be using, because the old saying, Budge, isn't it? Shit or bust.
Yeah, he's naturally a left winger. We know there's a player in there. We know there's been an injury, and we know that there's some, emotional or mental recovery to go. But, I think him being played from the start in his favoured position, he might just go, oh, I like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And put in a kudos type performance. Or, look, I can't remember what game it was. Kudos took that ball over and Socek met it with his head and buried it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And in the following game, we found Cornet out there doing exactly the same cross, exactly the same pass, with an almost identical result. So he's got it in the bag.
Is Bowen definitely out? And there's a couple of days to go, but seemingly, as reports are at the moment, he is out.
Well, there's also,
but you never know.
There's also photos showing him doing some light training as well. So,
yeah. Is he on the grass? That's what we all know. If he's on the grass, mate, he's playing.
Yeah. Whereas Hammy said that he's having the latest fitness test even on the day, every other day. Hopefully that's the case.
We desperately need him if he's anywhere near. He's not going to be 100%, I don't suppose, but we need him.
Like an 80% Bowen is better than no Bowen at all.
I would agree with that.
But having said that, who you risk fucking him up for the rest of the season by trying to get an 80% player out there? He did it with Paqueta and he was off after 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well throw him in the team. Yeah.
Johnson at left back. No, I don't agree, Sharky. I don't agree. It's not a natural position for him. He's a right-footed player. He loves breaking down that right-hand side. I would play him in the right-hand place. Not over Soufal, but if Bowen is out, that's where I would play Johnson.
You would have then Cresswell at left back, right?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. He's done no wrong in the last couple of games.
He's going to be exposed out there against a lot of pace, isn't he?
Yeah, but then you've got like over
that's why you would have.
You look for the experience.
That's why you would have Mavropanos and Zuma back there.
Yeah, but is Mavropanos going to be fit though? And he didn't come
is he going to be fit? Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
It's not only that. If you're going to have Mavropanos and Zuma, even if Mavropanos is going to play, then Zuma's going to be the left-sided centre back, right? So that doesn't
pace again.
Really help you with the lack of pace.
But that's where you would. That's where you would ideally go and put a Gerd in there, because he likes to play a higher line, and he's got the pace to get back. So yeah, mate, they'll pick on me. Everybody picks on me. I think we're going to go and eat some worms.
What's Barry saying? I do think we can get at these big teams at this end of the season. Teams start losing their grip on the race for the league. City are built for it. Yeah, which is absolutely 100% spot on.
Yeah.
The only one who's losing their grip a little bit, who we've got to play, is Liverpool. They're having a
but
bit of a wobble.
So is that, in Arsenal as well. You've got to look at Arsenal.
I don't know.
Arsenal.
We ain't got to play Arsenal, have we?
No,
but
Liverpool
and City.
But you know how we feel about that side of things, though, Jeff, don't you? We're all for Arsenal, aren't we? At the end of the day.
Yeah, so I mean,
look, I'm gonna have to check that 9th if we don't draw to City. I'll have a quick look, Happy.
Yeah, it said 9th on the predictor. It said 9th.
Oh yeah, but what about if we lose?
Yeah, if we lose to City, 1 point less.
We don't get that 1 point.
No, that's right.
Nah, it don't make no difference.
Still stay where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so my optimism isn't so bad then.
No, if we lose to City,
I can hold my head up high. Well, I was hoping for a draw.
Here's an interesting comment from Barry. He says Calvin Phillips will start our next game. I don't know what his fitness is like. Apparently, he kicked someone and pulled his hamstring in training, didn't he?
Oh, shit.
It's a story I heard.
Karma,
I don't know
sticking
how
your finger
bad
up.
that is.
That's karma, that is, sticking your finger up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? If
you know that
Alvarez
video of
and
that?
Phillips played alongside each other, would that be so dreadful? I know Phillips has been poor, right? But if he had a decent game, that wouldn't be so dreadful, would it?
If we got the Phillips that we know that's in there, then that would be quite a strong midfield pairing, I would have said.
Yeah.
Had we have got the Leeds Calvin Phillips or the England Calvin Phillips when he played alongside Declan, I think, we would probably have had a very strong midfield pairing with him and Alvarez. They're both capable of defence. They're both capable of breaking forward. They're both capable of good passes and, forward thinking. So, it would have been quite a strong pairing, but his performances have been so lackluster and so under par that you can't help but wish that we never see him in claret and blue again, to be fair.
We're sort of praying for the kind of performance that we think he could produce, but without much belief that we're likely to get.
True. And also the kind of performances that we were promised when he signed. We were promised that he would be a good addition to the side. He would strengthen the midfield. He would give us options. No, he hasn't. He hasn't done any of that. I have to
admit, when we signed him, I mean, I think the fact that we only signed him in January is a bit of a problem. But I wasn't myself personally. I thought it was decent. I thought Alvarez is going to miss some games. We're going to need someone in there, and I thought it was a good option. But he hasn't proved to be that, unfortunately. So, anyway, Happy says the 3 minutes of Earthy on the pitch was bloody exciting to watch amongst the shattered pensioners. Why ain't we used him previously? I have to say, he really did look lively when he came on. I mean, he literally was a couple of minutes, and then unfortunately he's suffered that injury, and thankfully, seemingly he's okay anyway. So that's the main thing.
Did we recall him back? Was he loaned out, Earthy? And we called him back.
No, that
was it him
or
Marshall? Marshall. I know it was one
Callum.
of
them. Sharky, Earthy was okay. He was released from the hospital on the same day.
He's got a broken nose, hasn't he?
Is that what it was?
I think he's got a broken nose, and
make a man of him.
Concussion protocols are in play, so he won't be available for a couple.
He'll make a man of him, mate. Don't worry about that. He'll be eager to get back out there. And
was really worrying though, seeing there and stretch it off and all the oxygen.
Yeah,
and one thing over it was.
But like you said, the protocols, decided on what that was going to be.
And a little bit classless from the Fulham fans, I thought, in the stadium actually at the time.
Yeah,
I think if you look at it, and also it just shows you where sports have fitness and medicines come on these days, because I mean the way the safety people looked after him, and that you can't fault anything from that, can you? So it's good to see he's okay.
Yeah,
and we'll see him back out on the field soon enough.
Yeah, and and another point I want to say
21 days anyway.
Yeah, another point I want to say is it was good to see that the medical team and that was implemented and stuff was spot on. It was really, really good. The people cared about what they were doing, everything else, which is more than can be said for any of the stewards, bar probably a handful. And there's like 1,000 stewards at every game.
Yeah, but don't forget, we don't employ them, do we? They're actually part of the stadium, aren't they? Then
yeah. But,
that's
there are
Actually,
one
I'm
or
going to
two
let you read
decent
that
ones.
comment out, if you don't mind, from Keith about the referees, and I'm going to go and grab myself a drink because I'm a bit dry.
All right, mate. Yeah, no worries. Someone in the chat mentioned Mark Halsey, retired Premier League referee. He once said that one day a Premier League referee will find himself in court and others will follow. The PGMOA is now called the PGMOL. Right, okay. So, yes, I remember that comment. And in fact, I think, Keith, you and I have spoken about this before in text form or whatever. I'm pretty sure we've spoken about that before. Or you might have told me about it. But, yeah, I mean, that alone just goes to show that even ex-referees are kind of blowing the whistle a little bit. You know what I mean? They're saying that, I've been asked to do things I didn't agree with. That's what I'm reading into that. Moyes don't give a shit.
Says, Moyes doesn't give a shit about where we finish in the league as he's off. And he'll use Bowen Thursday if he could, regardless. Getting through this is great on his CV. I don't think there's much you can argue about that comment. I'm not sure we will get through the tie either way. But he absolutely gives us a better chance getting through the tie. And absolutely, you can hear him now, can't you? Another European semi-final, and how wonderful it all is for West Ham, which it is, by the way. I'm not diminishing that, but as Mick touched on earlier at the start of the show, the way he talks and the things he says, I mean, my God, he's getting Allardyce-like, getting under the skin of the fans, isn't he?
Yeah. I'd rather have Allardyce back.
Yeah. Frimpong against Crystal.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a worry.
Yeah. But, if we go into that game like we have done in certain games and we go and get ourselves a decent lead, couple of goals in the tie, then who knows what we can do. If we level things up, we only need one more goal.
Great comment here again by Keith as well.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Jeff. I mean, it used to be an association. It's now a limited company, and that tells you all you need to know. Yeah.
Exactly. Referring to his previous comment there.
Yeah.
But going back to Thursday, if we get an early goal, I think the best we can do is win 3-1. I don't see us stopping them scoring. But if we get an early goal, we give ourselves a shout.
Well, if it goes 3-1, it goes into extra time, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's okay. We'll win on penalties, right?
That's the way I look at it.
That's about as positive as I can be about Thursday night. And I'd love to see it happen. I'm just not sure that I believe it will.
If Arsenal win tomorrow, then the Liverpool game gets moved to Sunday, I've heard. Why
is that? I don't know about that. What is that for? For TV, I guess.
TV, and I think it's the way the fixtures work out with the Champions League, I do believe.
All right, yeah.
Oh, because of the Champions League as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I still think we'll bet leather shoes on Thursday, though. Ref or no ref, come on, you are irons. Yes, I know.
Keep the faith, Keith. Keep the faith.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we'll
There is another one down there about Keith was asked to do something while he was at Grassroots. While we're on the subject, he says, absolutely, mate. Even at Grassroots, I was invited in speech marks to do things I point blank refused to do.
Okay. Well, and obviously keeps talking from a place of his own personal experience. So
yes, indeed. And to be fair, right, and Keith probably won't mind me saying this. Keith is an upstanding citizen, and I'll say that point blank because he is. But he's still one of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that he was attached to, when he was in the Met Police, he was attached to the unit that dealt with football hooliganism and stuff, and he said that, most of the games that he went to as an officer, he would sometimes have his West Ham shirt on underneath his uniform. And if he copped a few, West Ham boys being a bit naughty, but not actually, doing anything that's really bad, he was sort of saying, look, boys, I'm fucking West Ham myself. Go on, sling your hook and don't do it. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of leniency. And he wasn't the only person to do that, as far as I'm aware. I've kind of experienced something along them lines myself. But, he is what, he does speak from personal experience. But like I said, he's one of us. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's without meaning to sound like I'm being racist, and I'm not. He calls a spade, and he calls a bloody pig a pig. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no sweetening anything up, and I'm not suggesting that he's racist either, because he's not, definitely not.
So it's exactly what it says on the tin. That's the best way to say it.
Exactly that,
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, And like what I really do like about his point of view is that it's never jaded towards the officialdoms, sort of view. It's always as a fan's point of view, and I like that because that's fairness. You know what I mean? And I like that. I think that's sort of important because he is one of those guys that you can get certain information freely from him. He quite freely, offers it, but also he'll sort of say, but I think, certain decisions were absolute shite, and I would fucking sack that referee if he'd done that and I was his boss, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's the kind of person he is. He's never a one-sided view. He'll have an open view on it, and that's always important, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Keith said he was also FA kick it out of racism football agent. He was one of those as well.
Yeah.
So that just shows you, where he is in the game. So respect to Keith for that as well.
Yeah, respect. I've just got to say here on Barry's comment, he says, if we haven't got Bowen on Thursday, he'd like to see Antonio, Cornet, Kudus and Paqueta, Emerson, JWP, Alvarez, Kufel, Zuma and Agard and Areola. Well, Areola's not going to be fit, so he definitely won't be there. And Paqueta and Emerson are both suspended, so we might like to see that team, but we're definitely not going to see it.
Not going to, no. So it looks like, in place of Paqueta, see Socek.
Sorry.
Yeah, in place of Paqueta, we'll see Socek. In place of Emerson, we'll see Creswell. And in place of Agad, it's going to be Fabianski, obviously. But the rest of it looks fairly decent. I mean, what I mean by fairly decent is I think that's fairly good shout,
Looks about what we've got available anyway.
Yeah,
not
and
much else.
Cornet gets a shout from Barry, which I agree with. I think he deserves the shout. He's fit again. I think, start him. Why not? What can we lose?
Just so you know as well, PSG beat Barcelona 4-1 today, so it was 6-4 in aggregate. They ended up.
Jesus Christ!
And at the moment, Dortmund edging Atleti, it's 5-4 in that game as well. So and they're still playing at the moment, that one.
And Barcelona
And
went
Abby
1-0 up,
says
right?
she does feel sorry for Phillips. Obviously, we were talking about him earlier. And in her opinion, Moisey being adamant he wanted such an unfit player for half a season was a shite call. Well, I mean, it's turning out to look like that, and there's not much really anyone can say other than that.
Yeah.
It's not looking a good shout at all.
When he brought in Lingard, I've got to say there was a good percentage of the fan base that were going, oh, God, why? Why him? Why would you bring him in? He ain't kicked a ball in God knows how long, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of that loan spell, Moyes could turn around and actually say, see, I told you so. I told you the boy was good. He wanted to do the same with Phillips. Out of favour player, a big club, you know, somebody that he's admired for a long time. He wanted to be able to say at the end of this loan spell, see, I told you so. He can't. Yeah. It's us saying that this time round, you know.
I've got to agree. Well, obviously, I said earlier, I totally agree with Happy Emirates' comments here about the Fulham fans were a disgrace. Youth player on his debut getting oxygen on the pitch, classless act. I think they, in that moment, they really were quite classless. Very poor.
Absolutely agree.
And Barry doesn't feel sorry for Phillips. He says he gets paid a lot of money to be playing for us when no one wanted him. So some class and repay us for getting him, giving him a chance.
Yeah.
I think he was a little bit unlucky in his first couple of outings, and it's just been an absolute downhill spiral from there.
Yeah.
The way he let Fofana
lose a bit of confidence that you've got. It's so hard to get back.
Sure. The way he let Fofana just breeze by him against Burnley was terrible, and he did much the same for Harvey Barnes' goal up at Newcastle, and that's not fitness. That you've got to stick his foot in there. We
were talking about decisions changing games earlier, and VAR, etc., etc. Now, the one decision about that Newcastle game that changed the whole game was the penalty that Calvin Phillips gave away by kicking Gordon. Yeah. But the fact is that Gordon came in for that tackle from behind. Which I thought was
Phillips'
illegal.
fault. That is the refereeing decision, isn't it?
But I thought tackling from behind was illegal in the game.
Well,
Phillips holding the door open for Harvey Barnes to smash the ball in the top of the net is on Phillips.
Yeah, that one there. But going back to the penalty decision, when you look at that, though, Jeff, it is the fact that the referee weren't going to give a penalty. It's only the VAR interjected and then convinced him that it was. But everyone else could see that, it was a bit unfair on Phillips. The fact that Gordon, even though he came from behind, he planted his foot in front of Phillips just as he's pulling his leg back. He didn't even know the player was there at that stage.
Yeah.
And then he's kicked him. So in my eyes, I don't think it was a pen because
that was one of the most questionable decisions we've had against us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Saki asking here about the Fulham fans, were they really cheering? And
yes,
they were. I can tell you, I was sitting behind the goal. They were to my left. Yeah, they were singing that they were marching on, and one thing, just waving their shirts. I know they were enjoying their 2-0, but I just think their timing, and that is absolutely shocking. They were piss poor in that moment. I was pretty disgusted by them, if I'm honest. And they were getting roundly booed by people left in the stadium as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And from what I understand, there were one or two of them, that were pulled up as well by certain people and spoken to. That's just what I heard.
And Happy's just saying she disagrees with the argument that players on stupid money should give us what we want. Money doesn't give them the confidence or form required. Mentally, he must be so low and the money doesn't count, in her opinion. And money doesn't buy confidence and all that. That's absolutely true.
So when your manager, you know, from your club you actually belong to, and that turns around and says that he's overweight and stuff like that, you know, that can't bode well for you.
No,
You know, for a
no,
doesn't
no.
matter what age you are, hearing that from your manager for the, you know, the informed team, it just shows you that he's got no faith in you whatsoever, and there's no chance of you basically returning because, you know, you've either got to prove yourself at West Ham, which he hasn't done because he hasn't got the rub of the green. So that, yeah, the poor old sod's going to be no doubt going back there and sitting in the reserves yet again.
Yeah, yeah. Or he'll get sold for bargain basement money to some other team.
Yeah, like us, no doubt.
Well, I don't know. Would we want him? I
Well,
don't think we would take him. I think David
Sullivan likes a bargain, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think David Sullivan say, actually, David, please do not extend that contract. Please do not take him on because he has absolutely divided our fan base. You know, in fact, not divided it; he's decimated it. Because I don't think any of our fan base are still pro Calvin Phillips. I think we're all anti Calvin Phillips right now.
Yeah.
In, you know, mild form or strong forms, but I think everybody would say no, let him go back.
Thing is, though, you can see him going somewhere else in there, and he'd be smashing it out of the park.
Yeah, that's just our luck, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's football sometimes.
Like I said,
you know?
I referenced Lingard earlier. He smashed it out of the park for us. Went to Not Forest, struggled to get a game because he wasn't in favour.
Just took the wage.
But he wasn't in favour with the manager.
Nah.
You know, goggle eyes. What was his name? Steve Cooper.
Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
Apparently just been sacked by all accounts.
I think Sharky's here is referring to Thursday night, saying get a goal in first 20 minutes, then Moyes will tell them to sit back properly. But I'm not sure about that. I think if we start fast,
I got this sneaky. He's roaring at them, saying, "Right, you have got to go for it on Thursday. I don't care what other instructions I've given you. Get goals."
Yeah, let's hope that's the case. I think it might be. Yeah, it's my nan's 90th birthday on Saturday.
Yeah,
happy birthday to your nan.
Happy once the game moved to Sunday anyway. Yeah, happy birthday to your nan.
Yeah, happy birthday, nan. Or Nanny-O, as she calls her. Yeah.
Kieran,
hey, Mr. Devaney.
Hey, Kieran.
Sunny Queensland.
Lovely. Give us a shark report and all of that while you're in.
Yeah, any shark attacks, mate, or we've had the weather. So shark attacks or crocodile attacks.
Got your birds in the background, keeping us all entertained.
Yeah.
Got a big surprise pie booked. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And everyone wishing Happy's nan happy birthday, as do we.
There you go. Look, so keeps confirming it. County FA referee with FAMRA referee, also retired London Copper. I think about jobs where people hate me. Fair play, Keith. Fair play.
By the way, Keith, I hope your health, mate, because he hasn't been well recently. So I hope he's better.
Yeah, I hope you're well.
I hope he's feeling well then, Keith. Let's hope so.
And he was just saying about the
kick racism out of football agent. There you go.
Yeah, the old kick it out campaign. Yeah, kick it out.
Fair play to you, Keith. Fair play, mate.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, he did that off of his own back. You know, I mean, it wasn't like, you know, the referees association told him he had to. He did that off his own back because he felt that way.
Yeah,
you know.
Great comment.
He makes a really good point here.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a really good point.
Yeah,
I do think. Spoke to Mick about this before. We haven't really spoke about it on screen much, but I do think with the VAR, actually, our officials have got worse. I think they've stopped making decisions, and it's a shame. It's hard to watch, especially in the stadium. It's really difficult in the stadium.
Yeah.
Well, especially when we set records at 5 minutes 37, make a decision. Was it over the line or not? Or did he handball it?
Obviously,
go on,
obviously, aside from Keith, all refs are in the same bracket as traffic wardens.
Brilliant. Corner needs to start Thursday. See, people are agreeing. They're all agreeing with everybody. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's agreeing with it.
Yeah, look, even that. Yeah,
Can't
can't have JWP on the left
Absolutely.
wing over
No,
corner.
Can't have JWP on the left. I mean, he's
No.
absolutely dreadful.
If Cornet's fit, he's got to start, surely. You know.
Honest folk traffic wardens, they can't help being tossers.
I'm not quite sure what.
No, I'm not sure what point we're talking about. I've said a lot tonight.
Bit behind on the chat.
Yeah, won't be worth nothing if he doesn't start performing.
Yeah,
you're right. It's exactly right. It's performance based, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, 40 million.
Yeah, but he'd be lucky if they get 20 for him now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd be lucky to even hit 20 at the moment. Can't believe how bad he's been. Exactly that. And I don't suppose he can believe it either. You know what I mean? He's probably sitting there thinking, what the fuck's happened?
Well, do you remember David Kelly? We signed him from Leicester. He was banging in goals left, right, and centre. Come to us, and he couldn't even hit the barn door from 3 yards out. Poor that bloke couldn't give it at all. We'll get £40 over. Never mind 40 million.
Yeah, see,
I kind of agree. That's when we signed him. That was where I sat, and I thought, it's okay, you know, but it hasn't turned out that way.
Well, look at the fact that when City apparently was going to go for Rice, and it was a case of we'll chuck in Phillips with the money, and he decided he wanted to stay and fight his place there. Everyone must have said, "Are you an idiot? You know, there's no way you're getting a look in at City." And look where he is now. Just like buses, filling none for Thursday.
Thanks for joining us, Stuart.
How are you doing, Stuart? Anyway,
I guess Alex's TikTok show is on, is it now?
Probably, yeah. We are running 2 hours, 10 minutes. So.
Jamie, thanks for popping in.
Jamie Flood.
Evening, Jamie.
You met Jamie for the Spurs game.
Did I?
Budgie. Yeah, he came up. That's who I brought him and Stan up for.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He's lying. He was on the sauce. He can't remember. Bugger all.
How well
we were all on the sauce, I tell you.
Yeah, I do remember him, though. I do remember him because I remember you. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Phillips is in bad form, hasn't played enough, and he looks like he's out of sync. He needs another player to help him. Yeah, he needs an arm around him.
Yeah, and Alvarez.
Yeah.
You know what that is, FF, don't you? That's Happy Amaret's nickname for Kieran. She calls him Fuckface. He has nicknames for everybody. I mean, you're Ralph, aren't you, Jeff? You know?
Ralph,
Ralph, yeah. I don't know what she's got for you, Tony. I haven't been.
There's a few names I can help her with. There's a few names come to mind. I can help her with that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, but they got to be broadcastable, mate.
Yeah, I'll go for the alphabet for you, Budgie. No worries. This is fine.
Well, thanks for that, Barry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, nice one, Barry. Was that Jamie?
Network's Jamie on pick I posted out in Leverkusen? I don't know about that.
I don't know either. It did look like him, I've got to be honest. It's the picture I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'm fairly sure you asked me at the time. Jeremy Corbyn reference.
She's like, here every week.
Well, to be fair to Barry, he is here every week. I appreciate that. Thanks ever so much.
Yeah, we love the regulars, mate. We love the regulars. Stuart, Good evening, sir.
Always here when I can. You're the best as you post all the comments. None of the others do. Keep up the good work.
Well, thanks, Stuart. I do try and keep up with the comments. I never keep up, but I do try and put them all up.
We don't always read them all out, but we always put them on the screen.
Yeah. Same as for Will when it gets busy, you can't always keep up with all of them. But
when the conversation's going like 4 different ways, it's very difficult to get the chat up there.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, though, Stuart. It's a good point. Barry teacher's pet. Brilliant.
Right, well, I suppose we should probably do some predictions for our next upcoming games before we're back next week. So Thursday night, are you going on Thursday, Budgie?
I'm hoping so, mate. I'm a bit low on finances at the moment, so I've got to try and get some people to pay me that owe me.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm hoping to.
I haven't got a ticket for Thursday, so I'll be watching on the TV.
Yeah.
And hopefully, hopefully we'll turn it around. I've not got a lot of confidence, I must admit. But it's West Ham, in it. You never know. What's your feelings on Thursday, Tony?
I mean, obviously, it doesn't look good on paper, does it? The squad we're going to put it out, but hopefully, if we can, stick together as a team and actually kind of go out there with a bit of fight and desire, then there's every possibility we can get something out of the game. Chelsea gets you nowhere. Happy. So,
yeah, I kind of go along with that, Tony. And I actually tend to think that David Moyes actually really does want that badge on his chest before he leaves. And I think he's going to go out there and tell every player, go and express yourself. Go and do what you got to do. Defend when you have to defend. But when you get the chance, get forward, get as many goals as you can. I think it's going to go to extra time, possibly even the penalties, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go heart and head. Heart says 3-0 to... No, 3-1 to us. Extra time, get a goal in extra time, we win. Head says penalties.
I'm kind of with you, Budgie. My heart says 3-1, win on penalties. But my head says we lose.
Yeah,
it could be the end of the road.
I don't want to listen to that side of my head. It always fucking lies to me. Told me I was handsome. Told me I was rich. Never seen any of that.
3-2-1. You're back in the room, as they say. West Ham
saying
2-1 after extra
2-1 after extra time. So Sharky must fancy us to win the game 2-0 and then lose a goal in extra time, I guess. Could be right.
Yeah.
Love to see us win 4-0. Yeah, come in your irons.
We'd all love that.
Yeah, well, we saw something similar not too long ago against the German side.
Really do without extra time. Plus, if we were to actually get the pens, we don't have a few of our takers on the pitch. Yeah, that's a good point.
Very true.
Yeah.
We win on Thursday. Trust me, I'm a referee. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, trust me, I'm a retired cop and we don't like. Oh, fuck. Just trust me. If you dare, then.
Great comment, Keith. Great comment.
Keith the bookie.
Yeah. Still that deal. Come on. We're Claret and Blue.
Claret and Blue. Yeah. 100%.
We are. And we're champions of Europe.
Chicken eye, Yes, it's true.
It'd be just like us to win 2-1 or something. Be the team to beat them and still go out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably about right as well. Yeah.
Possibly Stuart. Hopefully, if the rumour's true, he's doing some light fitness and trying to get back into it. But
Yeah,
I don't think it looks good, does it?
yeah. You were saying he's back in training, light training anyway. So I think he's doubtful though. As we said earlier, 80% Bowen is probably better than no Bowen.
Well, even if they,
and
they're
as
put
Happy
on
says,
the bench.
Moyes is that desperate that he'll probably play him.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll 5.
Come on, Sharky.
That's it.
Come on, Sharky.
That would be something.
I like that one. We ain't beating the Germans with penalties.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, but the one factor that we can take solace is that they're not all Germans.
Yes,
some of them are Brazilian, some of them are Portuguese. Anyway, but they're not all Germans, but we might do it.
It looks like without Emmy, Pax, Mavs, and Bowen, he isn't good chaps. Still got to try and be positive, haven't we? We've got to try and be positive.
Yeah, and you've got to believe that whoever takes to the field on Thursday night really wants to play for the next stage of the competition. They want to be able to say, yes, we actually helped to get us to that point. Do you know what I mean? Because the players that we're going to see Thursday night ain't going to be the starting 11 we would normally see. There's going to be a good number of them, but, like Happy says there's 4 of them there that she's named that we're not going to have. And obviously Areola as well. So
you hope those that come in have got something to prove.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And, like, for example, when we won the Conference League, I think in the Conference League games, I think Cornet got about 19 minutes. But he still got a medal. Didn't really deserve it, but he got one. And I'm hoping that this week, the likes of Cornet and whoever else replaces these players that we're missing will say, no, I want to earn a flipping medal if we get to that final. I want to earn that medal. I want to get us to that final and I want to earn the medal. You know what I mean? That's all we can hope for, mate, really, to be fair. And like Mark Noble said in that, have you seen the video of Mark Noble, Anton Ferdinand and Bobby Zamora taking a training session with the under-14s?
No.
Came out on YouTube today. It's worth looking at, everybody in the chat as well. It's really worth looking at. It's really, really informative. And, a lot of what they say in there, they should be saying to the senior squad as well. Believe in yourself, work for it. When you walk through them gates and you're wearing claret and blue, you give 110% and nothing left. Otherwise, don't come, kind of thing. That weren't the words they used. It was Mark Noble that said it. He said, when you come through them gates, you're West Ham. You give 100%. That goes without saying. That's a given. That's not even a question. You do it. And these lads were all like listening and that. They kind of looked a little bit kind of starstruck, if you like, I suppose. But they all listened and it was a good session. Really good video to watch. Really good video.
Keith here says, what a memory this is, by the way. Can we have Adrian to take that last penalty, please? That has got to be an iconic moment, hasn't it? If ever there was. Throwing his gloves on the floor, smashing it in. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
It was better than the goal he scored in the Mark Noble testimonial, that's for sure. When Rio went, go on then, mate, have a shot. Fuck's sake.
Stuart saying, do like the European nights. Did you really see the tourists? True Emmas get majority of tickets are found.
Yeah, unless you're in the probably more upper. You're right in the higher escalons of the stand, and then you're surrounded by kind of non-English speaking people a lot at the time. But you're right, European games is a lot less.
Yeah, it's a true point. Comment, yeah.
Steve makes a very good point here.
Well, there's going to be a lot of youth on that bench on Thursday night.
They're not likely to see much football, are they?
No,
not
the experience is good for them, though, isn't it? That's what they need.
Yeah, but you know, what choice has he got? You know what I mean? What choice has he got?
He's got
he hasn't got any other senior players he can really call on. You know,
can't be our best starting 11.
This would have been the perfect time of the year for us to have had Flynn Downs in reserve.
Happy says, can't be our best starting 11. Half of them are out or likely out. The ones we have left are fecked, running on empty. I'm not optimistic at all, unfortunately. Well, there's not a lot. It's just a factual point, isn't it? It's spot on, and I'm not hugely optimistic either. But I'm hopeful that we can do the unthinkable and claw it back. I just don't really believe it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Peach special prediction and say 5-0. No matter who we were playing, yep, it's going to be 5-0. I love that optimism.
Yeah, he would have looked a bit silly if he had to pick him back up and place the next penalty, wouldn't he?
I think he knew he was going to bang that in. I think he knew.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Mm.
Choice, but it's down to him. Yeah,
it is down to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's the one that's sort of orchestrated the position we're in.
I don't think he's entirely to blame on the lack of transfer activity, especially in January, if I'm honest. But I don't want that to be misrepresented as some kind of defence of him. I just think
Dortmund won, by the way.
I think Sullivan is a complete twat and don't like doing business in January.
Yeah. Oh, we've got another new name in the chat.
Have we?
Further down. Yeah.
Oh,
Young James from E20 Zone.
Yeah. Evening, James.
Evening, James. Good of you to join us, mate.
Yeah, hi, James. Thanks for popping in. Just goes to show how fucked up January window was again. Absolutely ridiculous letting Fornals and Benny go and bringing in that useless twat Phillips. Yeah, I mean, he's turned out to be a useless twat.
Yeah.
And the fact that
I've always thought it was a big mistake letting Fornals go. Not so worried about Benny. But
letting Fornals and Benny go is looking worse and worse decision now as every week goes by, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, bless Peach.
Yeah, bless Peach.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get the chat going on that, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. We got it, Steve. Fornals with the G.
Made us full on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
What a character.
Mind-boggling stuff. It is indeed. There we go. There's James. Good evening.
There's James. Thanks for popping in, James. Nice to see you.
See a lot of that now, don't we? With most clubs.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'll find that a lot of the other clubs in the Premier League have got a lot of respect for our away fans. No, I'm not talking about the actual supporters. I'm talking about the clubs themselves, because they always know when West Ham are in town.
Our away fans are absolutely immense.
They are. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to join them on one occasion this season down at Brighton. Probably one of the best games to go to.
Yeah, it was.
I joined up with some of the guys that are regulars in the Carpenters and that as well. But I met up with so many of the fans that day. It was just such a good atmosphere. Yeah. I think it was us that got the team over the line, if I'm honest, because non-stop for 90 minutes. It was.
That's all about, isn't it?
You know, yeah, it was Champions of Europe. You know,
Jeff, I don't know if you've seen it. James is saying if you can chuck in the link, he'll join on for about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, yeah, I'll message him. Have you got your phone handy, Budgie? Have you got James's number?
I think I have got James actually. Let me just double check.
If you could forward that link to him. If not, let me know and I'll dig my phone out and
hang on.
send it across.
I think I've got him. Hang on, wait a minute.
I did bump into Lucas James, yeah. Couple of games, can't remember both of them now. Maybe Freiburg and one other I met him with you as well, Budgie.
Yes,
Can't remember what game that was now.
I can't even think what I've got here. What was it? Pete used to call him. Yeah, no, I've got him. I just can't remember what bloody name I've got him under because Pete sent me his number some time ago, and I can't remember what it was he used to call him. I will find it.
Let me. It was number. You'll have to get on in the chat though, because I'll be stuck in my phone here.
No, it's Pete Trotter, man, gone but not forgotten ever. Absolutely. Never, James, have you, right?
Hang on, I have got him here somewhere. I bloody know I have. I've already got the link already to send to him. I just got to remember what name he bloody sent me it.
God. I like what he says though, Budgie says, I hope it's a nice name. I've been called worse.
Let's just quickly go through the. There he is. That's why. Right. Okay. Nice one, James. Well done, son.
I've sent it through to your messenger, James.
I've sent it through to WhatsApp. I've replied to a message you just sent me. Well done, big man. Yes, and the name that Pete used to give him was Fat Boy with PH, not an F.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't bloody find it.
Fat,
I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it and I couldn't. And now he sent me the message. It's there, and I've just found his number. Weirdly.
Yeah. So Steve says, think about it. At least 7 players who are old and will be leaving in the summer. Massive rebuild is needed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No questions over that at all.
Yeah.
No questions. I mean, you can count them, can't you?
Yeah.
Cresswell's going, right? Soufal needs replacing. Zuma, don't know how long he's going to last. Ogbona's going. Or he's finished. Agard wants out. Phillips is moving on. Danny Ings is going. Borne's not in the frame.
I think Mbamba wants to go as well, doesn't he?
Mbamba wants to go, but he still needs replacing, doesn't he? Yeah, James is here now, so let me bring James
it also looked like that was him. Oh.
Yeah, here he is.
And there's also, the fact that
Evening, James.
Southampton are now going to sign young Flynn Downs on a permanent by the look of it. So we're not going to have him as an option. I mean,
we haven't got to let him go, have we?
Let him do it. They're going to flash a carrot and we'll take it. You know what West Ham are like. Evening, James.
How are you, James? All right? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, right, gentlemen. How are we? Everyone all good?
All good.
Yeah, good, thank you.
All good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? Just another day in West Ham paradise, isn't it? You got to laugh, otherwise if you don't laugh, you cry. It's been a mad sort of 72 hours, like, with regards to everything. I'll be glad when this season's done, mate, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I know, like, it's been one of them seasons where it just feels like to me that everyone's running on empty now, if that makes sense. Like, everyone's just had enough, and you know, like, just seeing stuff. I done a show earlier on with Jazz, and he was saying he just feels flat to it all, and people are just. I think everyone needs to have a reset button, but for me, after Leverkusen, if West Ham obviously go out against Leverkusen on Thursday night, I need to see something happen from the build up. I really do. I need to see some action there. Like, you're either going to offer him a contract, you're either going to sign the deal, and we're going to all move on and try and deal with it that way, or if he's not going to sign the deal and he's not staying, tell us so we know, and then we can all sort of enjoy the last sort of 5 games of the season, and then we know where we're at. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's good enough for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, yeah, it's good enough for us, really.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's not how Sullivan operates, though, is it, James?
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Someone said to me today, funny enough, right? There's a brilliant comment. I know who the gentleman is. I met him when I was out before. And he turned around and said Sullivan won't make that decision until the 3rd of June, because that's when the season ticket renewals come to a close. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me, mate, if it's just like you wait till the 3rd of June. But it shouldn't be like this, mate. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Like, obviously, Sunday's game was a nightmare. Obviously, Thursday night, I thought I was proud of the team the other day. I'm not going to lie. I thought they'd done really, really well against Bayer Leverkusen for 80 minutes. I thought they held their. They was defensively pretty good, and let's be honest, we got done by 2 set pieces. So, do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Yeah. It's just at present right now, it just feels like everything's fading out. Got the old song "Fade and Die" in it. So. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw your show earlier on, James, in my lunch break, and that it was a great show, you and Jess, and that, and you made some really good valid comments
as well, James.
You know, so you're right what you're saying. You can't wait for this season to be over and done with, basically.
It's draining. Tone, I'm going to be honest. I've never known a season like it. Yeah, I started YouTube in 2021. I started it. Yeah, and obviously we was going through a moment in that time where basically everything was all like a tin of roses. Wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think everything we was doing amazing. But this season, this is the first season I've really felt it hard, like emotionally, physically. Like, it's just been draining, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Roller coaster ride this year, wasn't it? You know?
It's just been one of them seasons where
not a pleasant one either. You know, it hasn't been pleasant for any of us.
It's just been up and down, Budge. Like, I've never known nothing like it. Like, 1 minute we'll win a game, and I think I've noticed it a lot more this year. This calendar year, in 2024, since Brighton at home at the start of the year to the present day, I've noticed it's been intensifying every week. Like if we draw a game, if we win a game, it's like an excuse for everything. Like, if we lose, it's Moyes. If we draw, it's Moyes. If we win, it's the players. It's, you know, and in the end, I think basically, I just think a reset button needs to be set. Literally, pressed, and everyone just goes back to normal, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, for a lot of us.
You're right. The only thing I will say about Thursday, I was pretty disappointed Thursday. I thought he set us out. I know we're away in Europe and it's about being in the game, bringing it back to the London Stadium, but the complete lack of ambition that he set them up with and showed, I thought was a massive disappointment. We gave them absolutely nothing to think about going the other way. I think that's a massive mistake.
I think we had one really good chance, one half chance. I understand what people are saying about like the attack mind, but for 80 minutes of that game we was all right. We was defensively solid. Our shape was very, very good. They was getting through, but they wasn't getting through in a way that like Fabianski was making like unwieldy saves. He's making good saves and clean saves, but he wasn't making sort of weldies. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there 80 minutes and I'm thinking to myself, I'm happy with this, because if we can get them back to the LS and we're 0-0, then for me it's game on.
We got a chance.
Yeah, 2-0 down. Honestly, Thursday night, and I said this funny enough to Jazz earlier on, if West Ham beat by Leverkusen, I'm trying to say that. If we beat them, I think it's probably going to be one of the greatest victories I've ever witnessed. If I'm being honest, unbeaten side, we're 2-0 down.
Yeah,
it's
it would
going to
be
be
as satisfying as beating someone like Liverpool or Man City.
It'd be immense.
It would be as satisfying as that for me. Definitely, be right there.
We just got to hope the Leverkusen boys are still on the sauce from winning the league on Saturday, isn't you? That's what you got to hope for.
Not going to happen, mate.
I know, mate, but we can always hope, can't we?
I think what you've got to do is you've got to play it half by half. If West Ham can win the first half, win the second half, and then see where we go. I think our first aim on Thursday night is just win the game. Yeah, just try and win the game. Yeah, and then wherever we go, we go. But you know, it's been a good run. Like, I'm not being funny. A semi-final, a final, a quarter-final in 3 years. That ain't bad. Do you know what I mean? And let's just have it right. This year, I think West Ham might need a reset. Even if West Ham don't qualify for Europe, next season, rebuild, restructure, and then go again. I think, because I just don't think we've got the infrastructure at the minute to sort of compete in 4 competitions every year.
And
You
you've
see
got to
them just by
also
looking at the
remember,
bench.
you know, we've got a very different squad to what we had when we were in Europa last time. You know, 2 years, I know it's not a long time, but in football terms, you know, half of our squad has changed in that time. And yeah, I agree with you, James. I think it's been an achievement to get as far as we have. Love us to go further, obviously, you know, and I'm hoping we do. But, you know, like in Europe, we've been strong. We've been the talk of the town for the last 3 years, you know, and that's been lovely. That's been really nice. We've been, you know, the top club in London, in Europe, for the last 3 years, and it's been bloody beautiful.
It's nice. It's like, the thing is, right? You lads are obviously older than me, and I'm sort of like, I'm 37 years old. To see West Ham win a trophy to me means a lot more than playing attractive football, because I've seen West Ham play really, really good football and go down. Like, do you know what I'm saying? In 2003, we had some amazing players at West Ham, and we went down. So, like, to win the trophy and all that, and if it is the end, for this season, it might be the end for now, but it ain't the end permanently, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes you just got to reset, go again, have a bit of a different structure. I think I just do honestly feel this, though. I do think something has to be done there in regards of the Moyes situation. I think, like, about 2 months ago, I mentioned it, and people said, well, we've got Europe, we've got this, we've got that, we're competing. I think people need to know. I really do. And I think there has to be a line in the sand there, and that falls on the owner. Like, because Moyes ain't going to walk out the door, right? I think there's a contract there for him, and he's got to have a deadline. Moyes, you either signing the deal, or are we looking for another manager? And I think that's how it's got to be.
Well, Steve's just sort of saying along the lines of what you're saying. If he offered a contract as a coach and not a manager, that's why he'll walk, and Starten will be given more power. That does seem to be the rumour coming out. I don't know if it's coming out from the club, but it's certainly been widely reported on the social media spaces. People think. I haven't got no contacts or anything in the club, so I really couldn't comment.
I don't.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Jeff, I'm gonna be honest, mate. Yeah, I'll be extremely shocked if Sullivan does not have any involvement in the next manager. Like, not one bit. Yeah, because the reason why I say that is I would have believed this a year ago. Yeah, I really would. In the summer, I would have thought, you know what, Steiden, he's brought in them 4 players. Okay, right, maybe he could go out and get the manager. But the January window just proves to me that Sullivan still has his nose in it. He just still has his little hand there and tells people to stop, and he'll do it on his terms, sort of thing. And that's the worry. That's the worry I do have with it, mate. If I'm honest, I'm not worried so much about Moyes going to a point. I'm worried about the next man coming in and being a Sullivan appointment, because there's so many people out there where Sullivan would look at it and go, cheap, cheap, cheap. Now, if we go for argument's sake and go and get a slot out of Feyenoord, then I will see a different West Ham that I've never seen before. Like, I would have seen someone go out, get a man out of his contract, get him to the LS. I just don't believe it, mate. I don't. Like, I've not felt. I'm quite strong on this. I just don't feel as if. Well, I think Moyes going is one issue, but then the next manager they bring in, is he going to be a yes man again, so to speak? Do you know what I'm saying? And Sullivan ain't going to go and get a manager who's higher in stature than him. He wants the manager down a peg, if that makes sense. So yeah,
keep that control. Basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Must admit, I agree with Steve's comment here. It's kind of the point I was making to you, James. Moyes waved the white flag in Germany. We never laid a hand on them. One shot in 93 minutes. Disgraceful. Look at Atlanta winning at Anfield because they were brave.
Yeah, but
I'm not suggesting we go out there and win 3-0 in Germany.
Yeah.
And I understand the setting us up defensively, stay in the game. I said before the game, I'd take 1-0 and get out of there. I would have not even travelled if you'd offered me 1-0. But during the game, to offer absolutely nothing going forward, I thought was really poor.
You've got to give credit to them. They are 42 unbeaten now, or 43. 42 unbeaten.
Yeah, 42. Yeah.
Yeah, they are a phenomenal side. They passed and moved the ball. One of my friends who I know, who went out there, he said, James, he said it's the best team I've ever seen live. With in the way of passing and moving. Like they didn't give the ball away once. Like, and I can understand what people are saying about us sitting back and not having a go, but I think if we go,
I'm scared of them.
Yeah, like I think a lot of teams are because they're that good, and they're a Champions League side in the Europa League, and the problem is West Ham are just not that level, mate. Like I don't like to say that, but we're just not there. Like we are a Conference League level side, in my opinion, and we're trying to get into that top 6 of Europa League, yeah. And when we come up against a Champions League outfit, and they are a Champions League outfit, they're very good. We just can't match them. Not with the personnel that we've got currently right now.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were scared of them, Jeff. I don't think we were scared of them. I think more was trying to do the same with Freiburg. Sit back. Hopefully, we can see something out of the game and then come back to the London Stadium and get the result that way. But as James alluded to, when you think 80 minutes, we defended against a team that's 42 games unbeaten. For the squad, it wasn't bad doing. It just, as you said, 2 set pieces undone us. But
I think it's the second goal tone that's killed us.
I think so, mate. 1-0, you could handle that, can't you? Because you think, okay, we'll take a 1-0 lead against them, go back to London Stadium, and we've got a
the second goal did kill us, but also after that, we were a little bit lucky not to be 3-0 down, if not for Souček clearing off the line.
Yeah.
On 70 minutes, we had a free kick. We got in their half. We had a free kick, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, fuck me. If Ward-Prowse pings this in, someone gets on the end of it, and we come out of here 1-0, it will be an absolute Moyes masterclass. I was kind of almost chuckling to myself.
Yeah.
And it came to nothing. And they got the goal 83 minutes. To be honest with you, I'm thinking, okay, if we get out of here 1-0, not the end of the world. But the second goal did kill us. And yeah, we could have come out of there 3-0 down at the end of it. Probably a little bit.
But I don't think the game's dead and buried yet. I don't think it is.
I think the first goal is massive on Thursday.
It is, it is. And if it's us that gets it, then we stand a bloody good chance of pulling it back. I mean,
Sharky says it, we get an early goal.
A few seasons back, we were 3-0 down against Tottenham. We pulled off the biggest comeback of that season.
That was, I believe, 8 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, 8 minutes, 3 goals. Listen, we're capable of doing it. Okay, I know. Again, it was a different squad of players, and the Lanzini screamer was unbelievable. But, we've got players that are capable of that. We have. We've got players that Kudus, for example, Antonio. We've got players that are capable of.
Evening, Damien. Thanks for joining.
Bringing it back from the brink of disaster.
I think if the fans get beyond being the 12th man, then we've got a really good chance.
They've got to be. It's undeniable that has to happen.
I think you just got to look at this and go, right, win the first half, win the second half, and see where we land. I think the problem is if we go too cautious, we could get done that way. I think you just got to eye this up and go, right, we've got 45 minutes to score 1 goal, we've got another 45 minutes to score another goal. And if we can score more than that in each half, then we're laughing. But for me, I think everyone's got to have a 10 out of 10 performance on Thursday night. They have to. Right? If they're going to beat this side, because this side are a good pass and move team, I must admit. And like I said, one of my friends who was out there, he turned around and said to me, it's the best team I've ever seen, James, live. He said, better than City, better than Arsenal. And he said, well, the way they move the ball, their shape, they're pressing, they press in packs.
It's their off the ball movement as well.
Yeah. And you've got to give credit to them. And I know people go, "Well, look at their squad and look at our squad." And listen, we all know it, right? Spending money, a lot of money, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a phenomenal team. Sometimes it's all about like the infrastructure from the top. You work way through your youth, your backroom staff, your manager, and it all comes together. So anything's possible in football. We all know that, but I think it's a mountain.
With regard to that comment down there, it's a pretty good shout, but I don't think Kudos is going to go if we don't get Europe. I don't think that's why he came.
I don't either. I think we got him for one more year anyway.
At least.
Yeah. Kudos. Paqueta will go this year. Kudos will go probably next year.
Yeah, maybe even 2 years, because like from what I've learned about Kudos, and my brother-in-law is Ghanaian, so he kind of like half got his ear to the ground, if you like, and he told me that Mohamed Kudos, while he was at Ajax, eyed up West Ham and said, "That's a team I would play for." So, when we put in an offer for him, I think maybe Steiden had a lot to do with him saying that or suggesting that, because he'd worked with Steiden before at Ajax. So,
I definitely think though this summer window, you've got to show ambition in regards of personnel also. If you're going to keep the likes of Kudus here, because I said it earlier on to Jazz, I think we need 10 players in our team. Like 10 new recruits, and people go, "That's a bit excessive, James. I can't see how you think there's 10." If you really go through that squad, that 24, 25 man squad, and you start going, right, he's aging, he's free, he's leaving, he's no good. I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a lot of work. He wants to go, yeah. And like, if you was to really sort of divulge into it, I think we need about 10 players, mate. So it's this summer window, I say it every year, but this summer window is probably the biggest window of West Ham's Premier League era, really, if I'm being honest, because it's a complete restructure of everything.
And to do that, where is the finance going to come from? Because we're not going to be selling 5 or 6 of the players that you mentioned.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
they're going to be retiring,
money, right?
Yes, but are we allowed to spend it?
We didn't spend all of the Rice money. In fact, I don't think we spent any of the Rice money. So we basically got his 100 million, right? And then Paqueta's going to go. So that's 85 million, right? And then we've got whatever budget we've got for our transfers. So money should not really be an issue. I know we've got to stay within the PSR and the FFP, but by all accounts, financially, we're not stretched in that field. So there should be.
You're saying we didn't spend the Rice money, but where did the money come for? Kudos, Alvarez, JWP.
I think that is
the reports. They banked the Rice money to go onto this year's accounts.
Yeah, but what about Skamaka's money though? That's the money that I think the Rice money can be accountable for, because obviously for the transfers of the 4 players. But the Skamaka money doesn't seem to get mentioned ever in any social media out there. And that was 30 million. So I think that's a lot of dough. I think West Ham need to spend about 150 million this window. And that's no joke. I think there's a lot of players there. Like, if you was to go through it quickly.
Do you think Fabianski's here any longer after this season?
I turned around and said it earlier, Budge. I said, if you need to look at getting a goalkeeper in for a season and then possibly challenging Areola for next season, I think Fabianski being here,
doing the same thing that we did with Areola, you mean? Yeah,
exactly that. Exactly that. I think you've got to look long term, and the problem is, and this is where it's such a mess at the minute. This is where I sort of do shout it quite a lot on E20, is that where are we going? Like, we don't even know the manager's going to be at a minute.
Actually,
having said that about keepers, about bringing one in, how would you feel if Everton do go down and we go in for Pickford?
I would rather see someone like a Nathan Trott come in and be around the team. Like, I know he's out.
We would prefer something like that, James. I've got to be honest.
Right. Or or going
Thank
out
you.
and getting a younger, fresher goalkeeper. Hasn't got to be expensive, but it's got to be reliable. Someone who's there. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Fabianski is there, but can you rely on him in big, huge moments? I think you've got to set a standard. I think the Areola standard is the standard of goalkeeper West Ham should be going for now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just like.
But I mean, in my opinion, though, Fabianski don't fall far short of it.
Nah,
even now.
But I do think you need to plan like sort of long term. Like,
yeah, of course.
For
at
instance,
this moment in time, we're relying on Fabianski for every game because of the injury to Areola.
Yeah,
and that's kind of worrying because what happens if Areola gets a bang in the head during a game? We've got a kid to bring on that's never had Premier League experience.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a big ask.
When you do go through it, like I'll go through it quickly. Like you got the two right backs, Ben Johnson and Soufal. One of their contracts is running down. The other one, his contract expires next season, I think it is. But he's looking to try and earn a bit of dough. And I can understand it from the Soufal situation. I really can. Yeah, what he's looking at is he needs clarity on that because the next contract he gets will be his final big contract before he comes to retiring. Yeah. So I can understand it from that aspect. So you've got two right backs there. If both of them, if one goes, I think you've got to get a replacement. Yeah, and the replacement's got to be better than Soufal. Then you go into the left hand side. Emerson's a keeper, so you keep him. Cresswell, you have to let him go because I think keeping him here, kept him here.
Age going against him.
Yeah, and he wanted to go last season, didn't he? Like, and we stopped him from that last season. So you take Cresswell out. You have to go and bring in a left back. For me, that left back would be Leif Davis at Ipswich. I think he's an excellent player. Central defence, that's a major issue because we've got four defenders there, right? And Mavropanos is probably the only keeper that you have. A Bonner, people say, "I'll keep him on for another year," but you're keeping him on because he's sentimental. Like it's a sentimental thing with a Bonner. It's not a quality thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's a good player, but he's not the standard that you want. If you're trying to
Aguerd would stay if Moy goes?
I think Aguerd goes, mate. I think he's done. Like,
I agree with you, James, on that one. I don't think his art's not there, is it?
Yeah, I think Aguerd goes. I think what do you do with Kurt Zuma because his contract runs out in 2025? Do you keep him? Do you give him a new deal? Or
one more season? Yeah, give him a year contract. I think 1 year rolling contract, if that.
Yeah, right. So you keep him. So basically, I look at it like this. I think you need two new centre halves. And then you go into midfield, right? I think George Murphy wouldn't be a bad shout for next season to let him have be more involved, right, in and around the team, get him on the pitch. But I do think West Ham need a covering defensive midfielder. Like I think if Alvarez goes down, you've got no central defensive midfielder there. Souček and Ward-Prowse are just not the guys. As simple as that.
They're too forward.
Then you take Paqueta out because if Paqueta goes. Now you've got a problem because if Kudus goes as the 10, Bowen goes on the right, you still need cover for both of them positions. So that's a right winger, that's an attacking defense, number 10.
Central midfielder,
yeah, central attacking midfielder. And then on the left hand side, we've got no attacking left-sided winger, not at the club. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Not one.
Well, with the exception of Cornet, who never gets used.
Yeah, but Cornet, I think's here because they can't get rid of him, mate. If I'm being truly honest, I think no one's going to.
The thing is, though, James, even if we chose to keep him and he chose to stay, we still got to have two cover for that because of his injury record.
Yeah,
we've got to have two covers for it, and we can't rely on him to be our number one left winger.
Yeah, right. He's just not the. He's not the quality.
It's a kind of a catch-22 situation, really.
Yeah. 100%.
As much as I would love Cornet to have succeeded and to be fit and to be playing and to be having all the plaudits that I thought he deserved.
Yeah.
As much as I would like that to happen, it's not going to happen. There is no miracle cure for that. For that kind of scenario, there is no miracle cure other than replacement.
Yeah.
You know.
So on the left-hand side, we need 2 players. Yeah, obviously we need a prime left-sided attacker, and then we need a backup left-sided attacker. So whatever way you want to make it, that's what we need. Then centre forward's a major issue. You've got Mikel Antonio there, who I personally think should be second choice next season. I think you need to go out and bring in a solid number sort of 9, someone who knows how to do the role. Personally, for me, Tony would be ideal. Solanke would be ideal. You need to go down that mould. Yeah, you got Danny Ings here,
someone that's willing to work for the team.
Yeah,
unlike the Hallers and the
Evening, Luke.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
joining.
Evening, Luke.
Yeah, what it is, it's just that you've got if you've got a style of play, you've got to match the style of play. And Danny Ings as a centre forward just isn't the same as Mikel Antonio centre forward. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like apples and oranges, isn't it? It just isn't the same. Do you know what I mean? So I personally think we need 2 centre forwards at the club. I think you take Danny Ings out. I think you put Antonio down as your second choice. You bring in a prime striker. Then you have a third choice, an understudy to Antonio who can learn, and then that's your squad. It's a lot, mate. It was deeply a lot. And I think when people say about like bringing youngsters in, even then, like, are they ready to rock and roll straight away? Like, that's the $1 million question.
So basically, what you're saying is we need to sign a full side.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
A full
Well,
side.
as good as, mate.
Because you got to look at the bench budget. We ain't got nothing on there.
That's exactly right.
Not just outfield players, but we ain't got a bench that you can turn and say, I can bring this one on, that he's going to go and do a job.
Yeah, agreed. And I agree with the numbers that you're stating as well, James. It is a large number of players we need to look at. And because our squad has been decimated by, transfers, injury, and so on and so forth. I think that's why we've struggled in a lot of the games that we've struggled in. I don't know so much about the Leverkusen game. I think we would have struggled in that.
Yeah.
Even if we still had like Bobby Moore and people like that in the squad. You know what I mean? But I think in general, some of the games that we've drawn and lost, we could have done so much more with a better squad, with a better squad of players to delve into. You could see the fatigue on the players during that Wolves game, for example, and the Fulham game the other day. I mean, I didn't really pay that much attention to the fitness levels of them, but they were blowing out of their arseholes after 60 minutes, all of them.
They look done, mate. If you want me to be honest, I watched that game from start to finish. I thought if we were
easier to watch it on the screen than it is when you're up at the stadium as well, James.
I'm going to be honest. When I was watching it the other day, if we'd have scored first, I think we might have got something out of that game. But the moment we don't, we just got nothing there, mate. Like, we've got no creativity. Paqueta's not on it. We're not on it. I do think the fan base do overhype Paqueta a little bit. I think he's a good player, but there's some times where we don't need him to do the tricks and flicks and the basics. Sometimes you just need to do the basics and keep the ball moving. And West Ham looks slow, mate. That's one thing I will say. They look knackered. I'm not going to swear because this is Jeff's platform, but it's going to
carry on, mate.
They just look knackered, mate. They look done. That's the real thing. They just look done. They look like the season's done for them, and they just can't. They just can't go on.
Helen.
You know what I'm saying?
Ludders. Jeff, I don't want to break up the party, but I'm kind of lagging now, mate. And
no problem, Budgie.
3 hours and coming up to 5 minutes.
3 hours. So
I'm
going to say my goodbyes. Yeah.
So try and catch up with the chat, and
I'll
we
probably
might
watch the other.
call it a day. But it's been a good show.
I'll probably watch the other 3 hours from my bed.
Yeah. And
but anyway, thank you for the time, Jeff, and yourself, Tony, as well. James, nice.
You're welcome anytime, Budgie.
No worries, man.
Lovely. And to the chat, love you all. Thank you to the moderators for doing what you do. Take care. Love you all. And I'll see you real soon.
Yeah, take it easy, Budgie.
Good night.
Cheers, Budge. Speak to you soon.
Take care.
Basically, that's what Budgie's saying is just pretty much how I feel, and I think how everyone feels at me. I don't know about you boys, but it just feels flat at West Ham now. I just think there needs to be with the Moyes situation, there needs to be closure. Just needs to be closure now. Like someone needs to come out, right? Sullivan or Brady or whoever it is needs to come out and say, right, this is the situation. David Moyes has decided that he's going to see out his contract, and that's it. He's going to be leaving at the end of the season. The fear is, and this is the fear that I do have, if he does sign a new deal, it's going to be an absolute mayhem show, literally.
You just want transparency, didn't you? At the end of the day,
there is none, Tone.
No, of course, and that's the worst part about it. Everyone, you're here in this room. It's on the table. It's not on the table. He's going to walk. He's going to stay.
Yeah, there just needs to be like he needs to tell the fans what's going on. Like because
I'll go back to this comment from Happy. I started.
Yeah.
And really, sort of what we're talking about now is it's funny how Sully can tell the wide world Rice was going so quick, yet he hangs about like this over Moyes.
Yeah.
And yet,
so what? I was supposed to say this, Jeff. Sorry to
absolutely
interrupt
spot
you.
on.
Yeah, that is absolutely nailed it. That is just absolute nailed it. Trust me, I'll shout out to Happy Averett, mate, for that one because I've never thought of that one. Yeah. If you could, he come out on the 8th of June and couldn't wait to sell it. He can't even tell us about the manager.
Well, you got to think
I started a while ago. It's the first
£100 million
pound
and that. He's going to sing the high praises, isn't he, old Sullivan, for that. Moyes, here's 50 pence in that. Go and do one. He ain't going to mention that.
See, the thing is, this is what does me, because obviously I've had a bit of shit over the last sort of 72 hours in regards to like different channels and like me, because I've got respect for Moyes, and I do respect Moyes because of what he's done. It doesn't mean to say I think it's the right thing to keep him here, yeah. But my issue with a lot of things is that if like Sullivan's trying to keep Moyes here to a point, yeah, and no one's really seeing that. Like if he's got offered a contract, right? Sullivan's doing his best to keep Moyes here because he doesn't want to go out and spend the money for a new manager. And I know, like some people are just like anti Moyes, like literally anti. Like the geezer can't do nothing right, and I can understand it. But I just wish people would just take a step back, look upstairs, and go, right, why is it gone the way it's gone? For me, this could have all been sorted out last year. Right, you could either backed him after Prague, let him go after Prague, and then that's it, right? And then you know where you stand, and then we know what the future is. I've never known anything like it. I've been in business for a few years. I would never let a contract run down and then offer the geezer a new one. It just doesn't make no sense. If this geezer's doing you a wonderful job, you don't offer him a contract at the end of his current one. Do you know what I mean? It just makes no sense. You just offer him a contract and say, right, I'm going to keep this geezer in because he's earning me money, sort of thing. So it's mad. It's at the minute, it really is.
It is mad. Absolutely mad. Yeah, he drives me mad, Sullivan. I can't stand the geezer, and I think he is a massive part of the problem of this football club. And in a way, I think it suits Sullivan having Moyes because Moyes is like his ultimate fucking fall guy. Yeah, because it's easy to point the finger at Moyes. Okay, he didn't sign no one. He didn't do that. But I think you're undermined from the top. That's not making excuses for Moyes. Moyes has got plenty to answer for, and he makes some really stupid decisions and divers and all the rest of it. He deserves all of the criticism he gets. But I think Sullivan does a good job of getting overlooked.
Well, look at it like this, right? Look at it this way. Let's all go back to the final hour of the January transfer window. The shenanigans that happened in that evening where we didn't know whether Ben Rummel was going, Ben Rummel was staying. 1 minute he's staying, 1 minute the fax machine or the computer wasn't turned on or the email hadn't been sent or something like that. 4 nails is in the ground. Like that doesn't happen at any other club, mate. Yeah. And right. And the thing is, yeah, it's happened too many times at West Ham, right? People seem to forget quite a lot. Yeah, someone mentioned it in my comments about 6 weeks ago, because I went off on one about it big time. And someone's in my comments turned around and said, James, do you remember the 14-15 season under Allardyce? We started off like a train. We was very good, got up to Christmas, come to the January window. We was there or thereabouts in that sort of bracket where we are now. All we needed is a bit of investment in the January window, and then we could have really kicked on. We done exactly what we're doing right now. I think we won about 3 games from 2015 up to the end, and that's when Allardyce got the sack. So for me, like some lepers don't change their spots. I mean, some of this doesn't change, and it's very hard for me to like. I'll try and get that across, but maybe it's the way I speak, maybe it's the way I look. I don't know. Maybe it's well, if someone speaks better than me, then maybe they would listen to it more. But for me, I've always said this with Sullivan. It's all about the pound sterling. He's got no long-term ambition with West Ham. It's all short-term game. I think he's waiting to sell, and I think he's itching to try and get Moyes here, so he hasn't got to fork out any money. So to speak, on the new manager.
Well, look at that January transfer with, like, you know, it was a rumour to be true or not, the Ibrahim Osman deal.
Yeah.
You know, that one itself, and then do you want to pay the £7 million allegedly that figure, and then before you know it, Brighton snapped the kid up.
Yeah, and what it is, Tony, it's lies. It's the lies that I can't stand, right?
Yeah.
Like my mum and my nan, God bless her, yeah, told me, right, I'd rather have a thief than a liar.
Yeah.
You know where you are with a thief, but you never know where you are with a liar. And with these people, they are barefaced liars, literally so barefaced. Like what I say on E20, right? I do say it with my heart, and I turned around and said it the other day about Osmond and Jota. West Ham are going for 2 players that they know have got issues. They know there's an issue there. Right? They know there's a slight issue there. Like it's like a tax issue, or it's an agent's issue, or it's something. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being a simple transaction, I see Spurs and like they go out, they go and get Werner. Yeah, I know like people got their opinions on Werner, but they go out, they make a signing of a statement of intent. What do? We go out and get Calvin Phillips, and I know it hasn't worked out with Phillips, but when you're getting rid of 4 players and you only bring in a defensive midfielder, that just tells you all you need to know, really, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, it was all screaming out for a forward and that, and yeah, we ended up with that. And
that is it. Like the problem I do have is that people think taking Moyes out and everything's going to be a tin of roses. That's one issue in about 4 or 5 issues. Like I think with a lot of people, and I haven't set foot in the LS ever. Like I haven't been there. Like last time I went to West Ham, game was 2016. Yeah, because I always said I'd never set foot in there until Sullivan's out the door. For me, when I do look at the situation currently right now, yeah, what has really changed at West Ham in regards of infrastructure? There's not a lot, mate. Like I see something the other day. They've decided not to have a museum at West Ham. And then Jazz come out of it today. Go back and watch it on E20. He said, I was talking to someone. They've sold everything off. So there's nothing to put in the museum. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's just not right. It's just not right.
What I will say, Damien's here saying about the 2 agents thing isn't lies. It's been quoted by the Danish FA. And they did say it was the wrong agent. But here's the thing. Sullivan got cold fucking feet, right? That's 100%. Got Sully written all over it. Not talking to the wrong agent, but listening to another agent, getting put onto Jota and then signing no one. That's a fucking classic Sully move.
Of course. Well, that's what James just said there, Jeff.
And the fact that Brighton then go and sign him 3 days later after the window's shut, talk to the right agent and get a deal done. There was clearly a deal to be done, right?
Of course it was.
And they chose not to.
I was screwed when I saw that. I was screwed. I threw my phone over the other side of the fucking room. But what James said there about Sully, you know, selling all this stuff off the so-called museum. If you remember rightly, I'm sure Gold and Sullivan did exactly the same at Birmingham City before they decided to sell up.
It wouldn't surprise me, mate. It really, really wouldn't surprise me because they just don't. They don't care, mate. They're the problem.
They're businessmen, aren't they, James? They're ruthless.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And what irritates me is when they say, "Oh, they're fans." Hey, they're not fans, mate, because they don't feel it like us. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I really don't. I think this is what I personally think. I think a lot of this with the Moyes situation is a bit of a backlash in regards of certain issues at the club. I think Moyes is a problem. I think Moyes needs to be taken out for the sake of the fan base. Yeah, because if it continues, then we won't have a fan base left because they want to just kill each other. I think in regards of the infrastructure, the training ground has not had no improvements. They've been here 14 years. Like they've been here a long time. It ain't like they've been here 4 years. They've been here 14 years, and the training ground is still the same. I look at the ground, the LS at the minute, yeah, and I feel that a lot of people are getting the ump with that because they don't feel like it's, yeah, they like on match days and on a night game, yeah, that they feel the vibe, but it just doesn't feel like West Ham yet. Like, do you know what I mean? They need to be closer to the pitch. Like, do you know what I mean? And if you're for argument's sake spending X amount of pounds out on a ticket, food, drink, program, merchandise, you've got to travel up there if you're traveling from afar, and then you're going to a ground where you're not feeling sort of happy in being there. It's going to give anyone the ump, mate. Like whether you're from whether you're from Dagenham, whether you're from Custom House, or whether you're from like Hertfordshire, it really doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just think that I think Moyes is one of the pawns in Sullivan's chessboard at the minute, and until Sullivan goes, I just don't think it's going to change, mate. I think with Steidon, I think him coming in is a good thing, but people keep forgetting it wasn't Sullivan who brought him in. It was Kudinski. Yeah, Kudinski. That was Kudinski's man. He said, right, go and get him. So I don't know, mate. This season needs to come to a close, and we need closure. And the only one who can give us that is Sullivan for me.
Yeah. This season's about 2 steps forward and not 3 back. That's for sure. Yeah,
like I say, lads, it's not just the fact that even if we do go backwards, yeah, and we just say for argument's sake we finished 10th, we've had a good run, like, and it's not over. Well, look at other teams currently right now. Look at Chelsea, for instance. I know they're a point behind us, but they have spent £1 billion, so it does help. Do you know what I'm saying? So if we're competing with £1 billion team, we're not doing that bad. But it's one of them, isn't it?
It is. Right, James, I'm going to have to think about wrapping this up because we've been on nearly 3.5 hours now.
No worries at all. I was going to
show I've ever done.
Do you know what?
It's been a
good show.
Tonight.
Yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a
Jeff,
good one.
Listen, mate. I used to do the 3-hour shows. I know what it's all about, and yeah, they are long, but they're enjoyable. One thing I will say is I heard you talking about Peach earlier. It was his birthday the other day. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
What a geezer, mate. What a man. And this is the thing.
I never knew him.
I just want to say this quickly before you wrap up. I'll make a move. Peach was a mad Canadian, yeah, but he was from Dagenham. He was actually born in Dagenham, moved to Canada at a young age. Really, really top man. Loved West Ham with a passion. But I mean, like, he would do 12-hour streams. That's not even a joke, right? It's not even a joke. He would do literally like 12-hour streams. And when he passed away, it'd be 2 years in July that he passed away. It was such a sad, emotional time because I just started the YouTube game. I think I've only been doing it for about 6 months, I think it was. And he always said to me, he said, Jones, keep going. You'll get there, sort of thing. He was a really, really top man. And obviously, when we won the trophy, like, it's just a shame he never got to see it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what people have got to understand, that some people wasn't around to see us win that trophy. And, you know, well, we've all lost loved ones in the past and everything. Some of us would have loved to have seen that moment. So, yeah, he was a top man, mate. He really was. But I'll let you make a move. I'll make a move. And I'll catch up again with you soon.
James, good seeing you, mate.
Absolutely. Thanks for jumping on, James. Really
no worries. Anytime, Jeff. Jeff, anytime you need me to get you promoted out there, mate, just give us a shout. You're more than welcome, both of you. Tony, you and all. Just give me a shout.
Yeah,
Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Get you on. Cool. I'll get you promoted. Take it easy, man.
Mate.
Thanks for that,
James. Well. Cheers, James.
All the best, man.
And you.
See you later. All right, Tony. So I don't know about you, but I'm just about ready to call it.
Coming up to 3 hours and 20 minutes, Jeff. That's not bad, mate. Not bad at all.
One.
It's been a good
thanks
one
for joining us. Do you want to give your channel a shout out for those left in the chat?
Yeah, sure. For those in the chat, thanks for being with us for this period of time. I mean, appreciate you sticking around with us for all this, all this length. But you can find me at Early Doors Football TV, all one word, as I've just said it, on obviously here on YouTube, and also on X and on Facebook as well, and Instagram as well. And obviously, Jeff has been on my shows, and likewise, I've been on these shows. So, Jeff, as always, thanks for the invite.
No, you're more than welcome, and we'd love to see you come on again. And I'd just like to thank everyone in the chat, like you say, sticking with us. Yeah. And please go and like and subscribe to these other guys' channels. And if you haven't subscribed here, please do so, because we're just trying to build the channel up. And hopefully we will see you all again next week.
Cheers, Keith.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. I was trying to look for the outro and I can't find it now.
3 hours, your nose blind, you can't see nothing now.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. Good night.
Take care, you all. Come in your wines.